All right, we starting live. This is gonna be a nice. This should be a great podcast today because it's a nice short stream. I got my boy Brian. I got my boy Reef. It's only three of us right now. We may get another person jumping in, but I'm fine with this on a Saturday. We're about to talk about the aftermath of the playoff loss for the Dallas Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers. About running it back with Mike McCarthy. Thoughts on Dan Quinn. Thoughts on Jerry Jones. Thoughts on the entire roster. And the questions we're going to ask the front office that they got to give us answers to, not only in 2024, but beyond. So we're going to start it off. How you guys doing today? Brian, how you feeling today?
I'm good, man.
Good, good.
No complaints, man. I'm alive, so hey,
Cool,
that's
that's good. Reef, how
that's
you
the
feeling
number
today?
one.
I'm feeling
Reef.
good. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're gonna
Hello?
start off. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That's
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I just
Oh,
making
okay.
sure.
All right, so we're just gonna start off. We're gonna get directly into it. We've had a week to dealing with the aftermath of the loss and how things went down. So Brian, give me your thoughts, like about 5 minutes, few minutes, of just the overall feel of how you felt about the playoff loss itself. We're gonna address everything else, point by point. But the playoff loss, how the team played. Did you expect that? I mean, I know the organization McCarthy said, we were shocked. Were you shocked or was not shocked?
uh not shocked, disappointed. Going into the game, Aaron Jones really worried me because of last season what he did and basically what he's done to the Cowboys since he's been a Packer. So the disappointed, disappointed at the effort. Disappointed at the disappointed at CD, disappointed at Dak. Um, Michael, I mean Dan Quinn, the secondary, just disappointed from the top down, honestly, because I don't think this team was built to win in the playoffs. Um, I don't. Well, I'm not gonna say built to win in the playoffs. I don't think we played enough players during the season to help us win in the playoffs. Like you drafted a nose tackle in the playoffs should have been the time where he'd been primed and ready to come in and make an impact. He didn't. Um, you had older safeties that weren't making plays. You should have been playing your younger guys. You had all season to find linebackers to replace LVE. You didn't do it. You had all season to try to fix your run game. You didn't do it. Um, just a lot of things that came to a head in this game, and the Packers were playing with house money. They had nothing to lose. They had a scheme that Dan Quinn struggles with, had a scheme that his defense struggles with, and it was a perfect time. And they came in and did what they do. Send
Oh,
our
that's
ass
good.
home.
That's a good sum up. Sharif.
You know, mute.
Just to
Yeah.
piggyback off of what Brian was saying, basically, just I'm not shocked because more so like whenever we're favored or wherever we're heavy favorites in a big game, or even just any game, to be honest, like it seemed like they always come out really flat. Not prepared, things like that. So I wouldn't say I'm shocked by the loss. Just kind of like how Brian is, just very disappointed. Just from like he said, the top down, linebacker play is it's nothing. I was disappointed in my quarterback, and just not necessarily it all being his fault, but not being able to do his part. So like even though Packers could get what they want offensively, I still believe like you still got to put pressure on the rookie quarterback, and if your defense can't put that pressure, you got to put pressure on him. But with the scoreboard, and that wasn't the case. Disappointing in CD, and his like little antics on the sideline. I don't really know what that's about. Um, Basically, everybody, all our big money players, essentially didn't show up. Other than I would say like kind of like how the San Fran game, I felt like the offensive line was like the best position group. Like the offensive line as a whole in Green Bay was fine. I feel like we didn't really get heavy pressure on us. Dak had enough time in the pocket pretty much the whole day. Maybe in the run, you could have would have liked a little better, but even still, we don't keep up with the run enough to even get anything going. Just disappointed, and we kind of knew like how this team was built throughout the season, especially earlier in the season. See how they're built. It just like you said, like it all came into a head. All the problems we've had and experienced in certain games and things like that just all came all at once, and it just took advantage of it. And just from the coaching staff to the ownership to the players, just all around disappointment, and it's a letdown by all fronts of the organization. So
that's pretty good sum up. Don, D, both of y'all came in late, which is fine. So I'm gonna just ask you to the same question. What is your overall thoughts? I'm gonna start with Don, then I'm gonna do Damon. The overall thoughts of how you felt from the playoff game. I know the organization, the Cowboys organization, McCarthy, Jerry, have been like, we're surprised. I know as a group, we've talked about it all year about how we did not like how the defense was built, that it was just too small, too old, too slow. But any additional thoughts based off of what you hear? If so, what do you have to say, Don?
Yeah, pretty much the same as everybody else has been saying. I mean, the way the defense was constructed, I mean, the offense was covering up a lot of the warts, I guess, for the defense. The lack of our inability to stop the run game. Man, even the pass defense, they just they didn't have the right personnel out there. I mean, from a running perspective, they had the light linebacker package out there, so they're running with them. I still don't understand why they let somebody like a Devin Harper go, because that's a linebacker. That's a big guy you could have put in there on short yardage or goal line defense. They let him go. But then on that back end, I mean, how bad is Wanye, man? Or I guess how much lack of trust do you have in Wanye when you put Curse in as a 2 deep safety? That's one of your safeties. And I'm like, man, that was just terrible. It's like everything that they have been doing all year when they got to the Packer game, maybe they just tried to like just out-coach them. They thought over it too hard because they changed the scheme. I mean, Micah dropping in coverage on 3rd and 9. What is that, man? We hadn't seen that all year, man. It's like the way they're playing.
And it didn't seem like he knew how he was
playing. He didn't know what he was doing because he hadn't done it all year.
Yeah,
he looked lost.
Yeah, they all looked lost out there.
Yeah, when they put him in zone coverage, man, he looked like he didn't even know what he was doing. And I'm like, man, did we just come up with this on Wednesday? Like, this is what we're gonna do. And I don't understand some of the coverages either by the defensive backs either. You got a tight end on you. It's 3rd down and 4, Bland. Why are you playing almost 7 to 8 yards off of him? You got to play the sticks. I was like, they just like not even playing like good football, thinking it through and just, playing down the distance. None of that stuff, man. I mean, I don't even know, man, what Dan Quinn saw in those light linebackers, man, like Bell. Just put them in there to make you think that was going to work. I mean, I'm sure we all see the clip where Baldinger was saying, look, man, you got this man playing on goal line. And he's like 210, maybe, might be 205. You got him playing goal line with a doggone guard coming up to him. I mean, come on, man. That's a recipe for disaster.
And he does
innovative, baby.
And you're putting him in a position where he's not going to have no success.
I mean, let's just go ahead and just call it what it should be, man. Put that man back at safety and leave it alone. Don't mess with it anymore. That's it. And then get the linebackers that in this league you need. You need some guys who play the position, who are built for the position. You can't be. I mean, you can get away with that little, getting cute, bringing a safety down in the box or playing them in dime. But, man, you cannot run that out there and play 60, 70% dime and think you're going to stop the run. Like, that's not going to happen. And, I mean, and then offensively, man, it's just like if it's not CD and if it's not a pass to Jake, man, who else? We don't have nothing else. I mean, they didn't have anything else, so pretty much the offense just stifled. You couldn't run the ball. I mean, you haven't run the ball all year long. So it's not like if, say, you were struggling in a passing game, you could say, okay, well, we could just run it for a while and then we'll come back to this. You can't, man, because it's like the running game was that bad, man. It's been that way all year too. Your center wasn't playing that good. You know what I mean? You just got issues all down your offensive line from time to time throughout the year, and there's like no way to really stabilize it. You don't have a big back, so you gotta depend more on your guys just really beating their guys in order for Pollard to break out, which that didn't happen that often either because he barely got 1,000 yards. So it was tough in that playoff game just watching that. When you start falling behind like that, you need some kind of stabilizing for something to kind of you can hang your hat on. But they didn't have anything, man. And then I think I heard somebody, I think it might have been Reef. Reef said even the star guys just seem like, man, they just quit. I mean, I don't know say it's quit, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't have an answer. It's like CD, the ball comes to your hand. So what, B?
Say it from the say it.
Hold on.
Say it. Just don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Go ahead on and say it. Go ahead on and say it.
Hold on. Everybody.
I'm just saying, man.
Everybody gonna have a chance. I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like you got a chance to catch a ball. The ball goes through your hand, man. Come on, bro. All right, I get it. You missed that one. Let's come back for the next one, man. It's like you can't get pushed around on the field. DB comes back. He just blasts you in your back, and you looking at the quarterback. What? This is playoff football, man. It's different. It's just like in when they had basketball teams in the 80s. Like playoff basketball was different. You come in the lane, you already know, bro. You getting ready to get beat down. And if you don't come in there with an attitude that, hey, I know it's about to get real physical up in here, man, you about to get abused. And that's what happened. That's really what happened to them too, man. It's like for the third year in a row, they got pushed around. They came out there and thought they were better than Green Bay, but they thought they were, but they didn't even attempt the game plan nor scheme like they were. They thought they could just come out there and just run them off because they were 9-8. And you see what happens in the playoffs. Everything gets magnified for your team once you get in the playoffs. But I'll let D go.
Go ahead, Dan.
I mean, y'all pretty much touched on everything, so I'll keep it short. I'm not shocked by the way we lost because going into the game, we knew our problems. And in the Buffalo game, the Niners game, the Arizona game, our problems was still our problems throughout the whole year, and I wasn't expecting a magical change.
Did you really think we'll be down 27-0 by halftime?
That the deficit I'm shocked by, but the loss I'm not shocked by.
Right, that's what I mean. I mean, losing is one thing, but to lose in that manner against a team, unless somebody correct me, they're like really unproven. Like they don't have a lot of playoff guys on that team at all. Right. They got good talent. They have some really nice talent, but normally, you make this exception. Okay, they never been here. They never been in the playoffs. We're going to make things difficult for them, make them think. They look like the veteran team that been here 3 years in a row and come up short. And we look like the team, this is our first playoff game. And it just seemed a little bit different. But go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your thought. But
we knew our safeties was a problem. The safeties looked terrible in coverage. The linebackers, we knew that was a problem. They getting mauled by offensive linemen just due to size. And when Mike first said, I don't think we came out flat. I think we came out chasing plays. It kind of made sense because you could see linebackers over chasing gaps like Damone Clark in the red zone. He all the way where DeMarcus Lawrence plays. He's shooting that gap over there. And
but the only thing with that is when I think of people saying chasing plays, this is just me. I always think of guys either over pursuing, and I didn't really see a lot of pursuing, even if you know what I'm saying? When you over pursue, it's like, all right, you trying too hard. I didn't see a lot of try hard. I personally think he said that as an excuse for his team because they just got bullied. They got pushed around. Now, I will say this about Bell. That ain't his fault. He 205. What do you got me down there playing middle linebacker for? It's too small. I can't match up with this. So I think that was the excuse. But go ahead, finish up. I didn't cut nobody else.
That was a shot at CD. That wasn't no excuse. That was a shot at CD.
No. I think he said the team itself. We'll get back to CD. We'll talk about Lamb himself.
then the coaching, they made adjustments, but they were bad adjustments, like going from man to zone when we're not a good zone team and we don't run a lot of zone. Like that didn't make no sense to me. The offensively, it just was bad. I mean, it was a bad performance from top to bottom. Yeah, bad. Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hurt. All right, I'm not going to repeat anything you guys say, but I'm going to go to the next topic, the running back part. So this is my opinion after watching the performance. I'm going to reverse. I'm going to go with Damon first. I personally think I've defended McCarthy, but I think after a performance of that level, I think the entire coaching staff should be fired. There's nobody I could come away with and say they deserve their job. Now, I think Fossils is still a great special teams coach. I think guys can coach. But this is 3 years in a row we've been ill prepared. And it's the way we've lost. Like, we've lost lack of discipline. We bullied, bad coaching decisions. Like, when we had the thing with the timeouts, I'm not going to blame that on Prescott, but that's just something throughout the year. It's like we're not disciplined enough at all. We don't have nothing to lean on. And we're not really a physical team. And no one's afraid of us. And you can kind of see that. I mean, we get beat by the 49ers. Last year, at least that game was tighter. So I thought based off of that, they wouldn't run it back per se, but they would get better versions of the players they have. So Van Der Esch has a chronic neck injury, but you say to yourself, let's get a version of him that's a younger guy that's smart. Anthony Barr, we all said he can't run, but he played very well, but he's a big linebacker. So we're going to get young versions of these guys. We're going to get a younger version of Hankins, and we're going to get tougher. I do agree. The CD Lamb thing is bothersome. It was bothersome early, but I have noticed when people play him physical, he seems to get out of his comfort zone, so that's a problem right there. Yep. Tony Pollard is a nice player, but I never really see them use things to his skill set, meaning attack the edges or use him as a receiver. The offensive line, I agree. Even though I like the new head coach, it's clearly not a match. Like they actually blocked better last year, and I thought Joe Phillips wasn't really that good last year. But I do think as a unit, they were better than this unit is this year. I agree with I think, but the only problem with that is Jerry Jones will never go after the coach that he necessarily needs, because I do not believe Jim Harbaugh, I'm just throwing names out, or Belichick, which are the names people are using, will come here. Because Jerry would have to give up power, and he's not going to do that. And I don't think anybody will want to do this in an environment. I just think this team is built in a way like we've accomplished a lot of stuff, and we've accomplished nothing. Like we haven't really accomplished anything, but they get all the accolades for that because they're the Cowboys and it's the star. Now, the Prescott front, I will say this. Some Damon said, I know Brian has said this. I do think he needs to play better, but I also think there's a lot of stuff that is put on him that makes everything a little bit much more difficult for him to operate. So I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. He said if Prescott was in Detroit and you switch it, it's a whole different situation. Better offensive line, better running game, better overall weapons. Maybe not someone like CD, but just better. A lot of less pressure. So that's another thing I think they need to do. But I don't know if they're going to do that. And I don't know if I get anything from this that I think McCarthy could fix this. Because one, Jerry ain't really showed any type of all in with him because he's only playing on a 1-year contract. Whereas somebody like Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh, even though they didn't do what they wanted, the owner said, all right, you get an extension. I believe in you. We're still in this the long run. So what's the story next year? This guy's going to have to talk about you're on a 1-year deal where he should just be focusing on fixing the problem. Brian said this in the chat. After that, I don't think anybody's going to hire Dan Quinn. I mean, if he was a GM, would you hire that guy off of based on what you just saw?
It'd be hard to overlook that last game, man.
How do you sell that?
Hard to overlook that.
Yeah, how do you sell that to a fan base? We're going to bring a guy whose defense got whooped like this, but he also lost a 21-point lead when he was in Atlanta.
So the guy who thought the linebacker situation would be solved by putting safeties down there.
And here's the thing. One big judgment I would have with this is we all knew how bad Mike Nolan was in 2020. And so he got fired, rightfully so.
Right.
You really want to bring this back? Like after what you've seen, I mean, yeah, he's been successful his first 2 years. He had to get a lot of turnovers. But if Nolan gets fired because of what he did, Dan Quinn should get fired. Like now,
But the only thing about that is they're gonna always go back to the fact of look at how we looking to turnovers. Look at the defense during the regular season. It's probably like top 10 defense, I'm sure, right? In yards or something.
from a stat.
Yeah. If you want to look at that, they'll always go back to that, man. Now, I mean, if you're gonna bring that, he's still on the contract too. So, like, if nobody takes him, he's gonna come back.
Yeah, but see, I always like to see that type of stuff. Like when Jason Garrett was here, he linked himself with Scott Linehan, and we knew it wasn't working, but he linked himself with it. I always judge coaching not by just their coaching, but having the ability to move on and say, you know what, this is a problem. Yeah, I know this guy can coach, but I need to do better, and you do better by replacing him.
You absolutely do, but I don't think they'll make that change. They're gonna definitely bring him back. So this is where I go back to, like, okay, so now the season's over, we can kind of look at big picture view. We say this about, I say 4 all the time, but honestly, man, you gotta look at they really doing that man a disservice, man. Like, you get that dude that defense to run with, for your offense, and then you give him an offense where you don't have a running game, you don't have a number 2 receiver, a legitimate one. You got a 3-4-ish dude or whatever who shows up every now and then playing wide receiver. I don't care what somebody says about Cooks. I mean, none of us would think that dude should be a 1,000-yard receiver. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you handicap that man so much, and then once the defense gets scored on, they act like they just fall apart because it's like we don't know what to do now. But like if the offense comes out and scores, then now they could be front runners and they could just rush the quarterback because they don't want to play run defense. They need to get rid of some of them dudes on defense. Just get rid of them, seriously. Because if they don't want to play run defense, if you can't stop the run, you don't need to be playing defense, man. I'm sorry. Like, that's what they really need to be looking at. Like, if it's me, I'm focusing my assets and my resources on getting that defense to where it need to be. And then I'm gonna kind of like sprinkle in some stuff on offense so that we can balance it out. I think you can still win like it is with the quarterback. You can still win, but you gotta have a defense, man, that doesn't just fall apart like that. They gotta at least be able to keep you in the game, man.
You gotta have toughness, man. Like, we are weak. We are weak across the line of scrimmage on offense and defense. Those positions set the tone for everything. When your defensive line can't punch nobody in the mouth, they get punched in the mouth. When your offensive line, when you're trying to establish a run game, gets punched in the mouth, ain't nobody gonna be afraid of you. Ain't nobody gonna feel like you pose a threat. Like, our defensive line, other than Hankins, is they don't know how to play the run. They don't get off blocks.
DeMarcus Lawrence know how to play the run.
DeMarcus Lawrence, I give him that. But they don't. Other than that, they don't know how to. Our front seven. Nobody else in our front seven knows how to play the run.
That's true.
If you send a motion, if you send that tight end in motion, Clark gone. Clark is like a rat chasing cheese. Clark is gone.
Now here's a man.
He leaves that gap.
Do you
right
think the linebacking was better last year?
Oh, you mean
a little bit better? A little bit better because LVE knew how to play the position. But other than that, it was still the same situations. It was the same.
I mean, Anthony Barr was physically limited, but he kind of knew the play. You could see
you had two guys.
He could see the play. He just couldn't.
He couldn't get to it.
It's about the same, but it looks different. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. It's like them dudes are more talented. Go ahead, man.
No, but I was just saying real quick. I thought Damone Clark in those 3 games he started when LVE did go down, like I thought he looked a lot better, a lot more promising.
Yeah, you put him with somebody that's a vet out there, so that can help him out a little bit. He looked like he was kind of developing.
Yeah, the only reason why I was saying that is because George Edwards was the linebacker coach last year.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right.
I was gonna go back and say he losing George Edwards.
Trying to go is that
probably hurt. I'm sure that hurt.
Look at from a position coach defensively, I think the only guy that I would point out is Al Harris. I don't think the defensive
Well,
line coach has been that great because a lot of the
Yeah.
guys that we have on the defensive line who start, they're already veterans, but none of the young players have emerged. Like, no, there's not a, and I'm not saying I need a Pro Bowl player. I don't see
No.
solid.
But you got to fit pieces together, man.
Yeah, I don't see no. And then when you look at the linebackers, Van Der Esch could play anyway. He played before these guys showed up, so that isn't
Right.
like a reflection of the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
also behooves me about. I definitely agree with you, personnel. You do need new personnel, but I also think you need new coaching. I just think
I would agree.
a lot of things with new coaching. But here's a question: if you had a choice to have a new head coach, a new quarterback, or a new owner, which one would you guys pick?
Owner.
Yeah, I'm taking a new owner. I'm taking a new owner, but we know that ain't gonna change, right? So let's.
a question.
All right. So two would have to be the head coach because I know it's gonna be hard to move your quarterback on.
I got 2 votes for the owner. I'm still waiting for Brian and D to give me the answer.
That ain't going nowhere.
It got to be.
The owner.
Owner,
I don't even need I just need the son gone. It ain't even. I don't even think.
I don't know,
Jerry.
man.
I think it's Steven cheap ass, man. I think it's
Yeah,
Steven.
I think you know what? You might be right though with that because Jerry, like at this point, Jerry be done went all in, man, for real. You know he would have went all in.
Hold on, but Jerry go all in by trading the first, a third, and the fifth for Roy Williams. Jerry goes all in by trading 2 first-round picks for Joey Galloway. Jerry goes all in by extending the dude that has major injuries in Tony Romo. Jerry, I'm not saying Steven isn't cheap.
But Steven will make him swing the other way though. Like, hey, we can't do that because we got to consider CD. We got to consider Mike and all these other guys.
I understand that, but the problem I have, and I don't know if this is a Steven thing because I just don't know because he never ran the team.
Right.
Jerry's biggest problem has been I don't think he empowers the coaches. Like when you look at it, yeah, and to me, you gotta let the guy be the coach. Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, and Wade Phillips all have something in common. You know what it is? All their offensive coordinators was hired before they even got the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're not letting. And then here's another thing: we don't like we don't know who they want to fire, who they want to let go, what personnel guys they want to let go. If you go back, and it's not a shot to Ezekiel Elliott, but when they had Elliott, he was the guy that some of us was like, I know me, was like move on from him. But he was the highest guy with jersey sales. So it's also like that type of thing. Who cares what jersey number your receiver wears? Who cares about you making the announcement of your coach not having a contract extension on playoff Saturday? But that's stuff that Jerry does. They actually need to get better as opposed to worrying about marketing ideas and branding and things of that nature.
True.
I think Mike McCarthy has been empowered a little bit more than JG and Phillips has, based upon some of the moves that he's made, like getting rid of a defensive coordinator after year 1 when it didn't work. Getting rid of Kellen Moore.
But look how long it took for him to get rid of Kellen Moore.
Yeah, and I think that was calculated on Mike McCarthy's part. Like, okay, Jerry, I'm gonna let you see how this shit works.
3 years.
This is what's gonna happen.
No head coach. There is no head coach.
But you know that was Jerry's son. Though. He wanted him to succeed.
But that's exactly my point. Yeah. What I'm saying is that this dude should be allowed, whoever it is, should be allowed to come in and have his own people, his own personnel staff. So put it this way, because you said it, Brian. You like what was going on with Dak. So what would be different if he had him from the beginning? He was calling plays, and Mike was there.
If he had him from the beginning, you will have a better quarterback. You have a more seasoned quarterback. I think the offense would be a lot better. I think you would have known what to do to build around him. But because he carried Kellen Moore so much, it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna see how this works. I'm coming in. I need a job. I think Mike McCarthy came in, needing a job, want a job. And so he was like, okay, I'm gonna see how it works.
That's a bad reflection on him.
That's a problem. It's like
Because I
you
don't
know,
want
and
somebody. Ray Phillips wanted the job. We saw how all that turned out.
yeah.
Bill came in. No, Bill came in. He wanted to win because he talked about his personnel. He was like, "These guys are too small. I could stick all these guys in a cab like little clowns because they're too small. I need big time playmakers." When we got blown out by Sean Payton, I think it was 44. He said it. He said we need to get better defensive playmakers, and he did that the next year. I'm not saying Mike needs to be Bill Parcells, but Mike needs to take some ownership of it. I think him waiting too long was a problem. I think Jerry interfering. I hate to say this. I don't think we're gonna win ever with Jerry as the owner. Like going forward.
Nope, and I agree because of like they don't for some reason, and I don't understand this. They devalue certain positions, and they feel
Mm-hmm.
like you can just put a guy there, like
Yep.
with Hooker at safety. Okay, you brought in a name, but I really think Hooker's best years have been past him 2, 3 years ago. Like you brought
Yeah.
in Curse. Curse was a reclamation project. Okay, you got 2 good years out of him. Then you give him some more money. Let him go. Find you somebody else. You still ain't found a damn nose tackle yet, and we talking about teams that have had historic tackles, have had historic defensive tackles for years. We ain't never been this bad as an organization at linebacker. Like, come on, man. Like, we don't have
Oh
a
yeah.
number two receiver.
That's
Like
bad.
You paid Gallup coming off a knee injury. Like, come on, man. It's like
You
it's
telling
certain
me?
things that you need. Like we don't have no Eric. We don't have no Eric Williams type offensive
Oh
line on this
no,
team.
bro. No.
No
Well,
Larry Allen. Like we don't have them bullies. We don't have those
I
bullies
mean,
no
we got
more,
one. We
man.
got one
Like,
bully.
you don't think Tyler might be one?
Tyler's a bully.
yeah, Tyler by itself. That's
I just
it.
said we got one guy. We got one guy.
Like,
But you know
but
what?
bro,
To
like we ain't
piggyback
got
off
no
those,
bullies, man.
injuries, this is what Dallas to me appears like they
Oh,
like.
this is.
They like to get the contracts and figure, all right, we getting a deal.
Thank you.
So they did it with Michael
You,
Gallup. They
Oh,
did it
you
with
you,
too.
Terrence Steele. When they go through the draft, guys will fall. Jalen, how many second round picks did we waste on injured linebackers that was injured coming into
Dude,
college?
we wasted second round picks on guys that wasn't injured.
Yeah,
Kelvin Joseph.
and that's
So
another
yeah,
one.
man.
Joseph got in trouble. A message would have been sent if you cut him right after that shoot. You just cut him. You just
yeah,
basically cut him. You move
yeah.
on.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
It's like we do that, or we wait too long, or we get guys who are injured, or we re-sign guys.
Or you get your running back that with a broken ankle coming back and you franchise tag him.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, come on, man. You gotta be a little
Or
shrewder
you're
than
so
that, man.
scared that you can't replace Dalton Schultz, so you pay him $10 million.
That too.
It's those type of things that they do. It's like they love their players more than the rest of the league love. Not saying there ain't no guys that can't play, but a lot of people like, all right, that's cool, but I'm not gonna pay him this much. I'll pay him
Man,
this much.
did anybody see Dalton Schultz try to jump over that guy last week?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like I'm like, bro, just what are you doing?
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm I'm to the point, man, right now where it's like I'm just a Cowboy fan. I just like watching the team. But I don't have no expectation. I don't have no expectation going into this year. I don't have no expectation in the draft. Like I don't. Let's just get back. Let's get to the divisional. Let's get to the first round of playoffs and see what's gonna happen. Like I don't even. It don't. I don't even have no expectations from Dak. I don't have no expectations from CD.
Yeah.
I don't have no expectations from nobody. CD can have 2,000 yards. I don't even care.
I'm not
I
impressed
really
by
don't.
that. That don't even
I really
impress me.
don't.
It's like,
Because he
yeah.
showed me. He showed me in the playoffs that
Yep.
he's a top level wide receiver in the league, but he can't take his game to another level.
Right.
He can't.
Yeah, and that's
He
and
can't.
as much as I talk
That's
about
the concerning part,
as much
man.
as I talk about Prescott, you do have concern with all the other money players. Like they
Exactly.
literally had no. The only guy I saw last week on the offensive side was Jay Ferguson.
Yeah.
Well, that was it.
Yep.
That was it.
Dude, he was really like he still was engaged. The
Yeah.
physicality didn't bother him. The rest of them dudes,
He
I
was
was
playing
just
with
like,
heart.
okay, is somebody else going? I can't complain too much about Pac because every time you get the ball, he's tackled, so you don't even really get out the
Yeah.
backfield a lot.
I mean, he's doing what the best that he can do. But again, you're not even using that dude like you should.
Not
How many times
skill
we said this, man? Like, put that dude in the backfield, motion him out wide, make a linebacker run out there toward him, and throw the football. That opens up everything else, man. It's like they don't even.
I
I
can't
don't even get it, man. That's
remember
frustrating to me.
the way he snagged it out of the air. I was like, he
Put him in the
catches the
slot.
ball better than
Yeah.
Tucker. Yeah, put him in the slot.
Like, I don't understand, man. Like, why it's so hard, man, for them to. Sometimes, man, they just try to they just overthink it, man, and outsmart themselves. It's like, man, just get back to playing basic football, man, and use the guys that you have to the best of their ability. Don't ask that man to do something that he's not capable of doing. And then they put him back there. You're gonna make him a number one back. Okay, all right, great. But did you ever think about the fact that, like, all right, when we get down to the goal line and it's 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line, can we hand him the ball and expect him to score? Well, why are we franchising this dude, man? That's not a franchise player. You got to take him off the field, man.
Right. He has a certain skill set that's
what I'm saying.
Never used. But
Never.
they also didn't compliment him with a bigger back. Just get somebody
Exactly.
of a hammer that's down there. It's a lot of stuff they've decided, or we've drafted a lot of guys, and it's just like, okay, if you're going to draft the tight end in the 2nd round and not use them, then you need to draft the tight end in the 2nd round. If that wasn't the case,
should have got another back, man.
Yeah, I thought
if you did that, you should have got another back, either at least a free agent or somebody that's decent enough that's going to run behind him.
Right. If that's the case, but you decided you didn't want to do that.
Yeah, and you see Ferg had potential his rookie year. You see what
Ferg
do.
Right.
Exactly.
No, I'm cool if that's the game plan, but then you're not running 12 personnel. You're not running it, so it's like
no.
That's what I don't understand about why you draft Schoon in the 2nd round and not play him for 10 snaps.
Right, you're not playing him.
You're not playing him. I'm okay. Like
no, he's not playing him.
Yeah, as a player, I'm okay with him. If you're gonna take a tight end in the 2nd round after you just seen you had a 4th round talent that's has the potential to be like a first round level guy, essentially, you draft another tight end. On top of the fact that you already have another tight end you like on the roster, and then you sign one as an undrafted free agent, why aren't you running 2 tight ends?
The thing is, I don't think they like Hendershot that much, but it's also like I think you could have got a guy in the 4th round.
No, I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about McEwen.
Yeah, I think he's so. Yeah,
McEwen is he's an undrafted dude.
Yeah, so, and then on top of the fact that you signed John Stevens, so like
exactly.
But you're not. What are you signing all these tight ends for if you're not?
Well, he got hurt. Yeah.
No, I'm saying
John Stevens was for him
the
shot
thought process before the season.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Right.
Yeah, like you're not running 2 or 3 tight end sets. That's your base. That's your base offense.
Exactly, and that's what.
Here's the thing though. Even like in the playoff game, I was the first drive, 2nd down. They come out. They got 3 tight ends on the field. Right. They bunched. They couldn't even get a yard, man. I was like, what in the world? You can't blow anybody off the ball.
Yeah, but those are the personnel decision because the Green Bay, like Greg Olsen said it the whole game. Green Bay, 1st and 2nd down or first run downs, they're running 5 D linemen and 5 big ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's not the time you come over with 2 or 3 tight end sets.
But also what Greg said is what I told you. If you can't run when you want to run, then you need to run out of pass sets and throw out of run sets because you got to do a strategic thing. Because if you're trying to do power against power, we can't do that. But maybe switch it up. You'll change. You got a bunch of big guys now. You put their defensive guys in space. It's like what you guys have said. The personnel is, or D said too. Personnel bad, coaching bad. There didn't even seem to be any. The only adjustment slightly was by McCarthy on the offensive end, but Dan Quinn was just terrible. Like he never. They got to a point where I thought he was just gonna say, you know what? Let's just put in this backer, move some guys, because they were just getting kicked. And then like what y'all guys were saying, like you playing zone. These dudes don't play zone. You're blitzing. We're not a blitzing team. So
it's bad, man.
It was
he played dime against a team that gonna run the ball. Like you
Yeah.
got two safeties playing line. You at one point in time you had Curse and Bell as your two linebackers. Like, dude, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Like, like, what are you like? What are you like? That is like to me, that is like defensive coaching malpractice. Like, you don't do that. Like, okay, I understand
He
you
don't.
want to get cute sometimes, but you don't put two safeties at
No.
linebacker, two
I
and
mean,
your two lightest
I
safeties
don't.
at that.
I don't even know. Like
If
even
I had Cam Chancellor and maybe Roy Williams in a situation, maybe. But we don't even have those type of line. We don't have those
No.
type of safeties.
But
but
you
even
got to but you do have a bigger safety you can play though. They don't want to play one year.
They
He
don't want
doesn't get
No, they don't want to play
he
him.
doesn't
but
yeah, he doesn't
but
get
even
out
then,
there.
it seemed like he's overestimating his personnel. Like I can't
Yeah.
tell
True.
you like as a DB, bro. Field what? He ain't got no hips. He ain't got no
all
hips,
I
no range.
all,
Like
all I can say
that's just
is
dumb. So like
I
I don't
just
know.
think I think he's in love with the players he's in love with. And I also think
Man, you better hey bro, better go ahead and break them relationships and
yep,
tell them they gotta walk.
exactly. And then
Because
but you know
it's
what's so horrible about that? Because he's in love with it, the front office seems to do that. So now they re-signed them two dudes that we all were like, we could have walked on.
yeah.
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 And then
It's
also
starting on the
too,
back starting on the back end. Go
what
ahead,
happened
B.
to what happened to we gonna play a defensive line rotation? We gonna play eight guys. What happened to all of
Mm-hmm.
that? Like we
What
It's,
ain't
happened?
like what happened to that?
it seems like we rotate maybe five
Like
for
Yeah.
Yeah.
rotate once a game, like two. You might bring in Sam Williams. Like I was looking for Sam Williams to take that next step to
I
be
was
able
too.
to be able to play a bigger guy on the edge so that you don't have to utilize Michael so much excuse me, on the edge. But it's just like he just refused to play this dude.
Well, he's too stupid to be on the field. He played 4 snaps a game and he get a penalty every time he's on the field.
I
Dude,
don't
penalty
care.
machine.
I'm not saying he's
I
the brightest, but I just think he's just trying to prove
I
a point
he
about
need to. Yeah, he tried. Okay, if you ain't getting no playing time, Reed, at some point in time when you get on the field, you're gonna try to make a play to show that,
but
hey man,
my
keep
thing,
playing
Brian,
me.
my thing B is like this, like getting a penalty ain't I get you trying to
Yeah, that
make
ain't
up.
gonna make yeah.
That ain't gonna
No, it
keep
ain't.
you on
It
the
ain't.
field.
It ain't. But it keep DeMarcus Lawrence on the field. But that's another story. That's another story. That's another story.
Yeah, it does keep him on the
I
field. You're
mean,
right.
the guy in front of him does the same exact shit. So like,
True.
there
He's
is
just
no,
doing what he said.
there is nothing
But he's
that
but
shows
he's
me that
also
I
the
need to be a more disciplined player. There's
True.
nothing that shows me I need to be more disciplined when my
you
two
talking
starting
about
defensive
are you
men
talking
in
about
crucial
Fowler?
moments will jump off the field.
You talking about Fowler?
No, I'm talking
No, he's
about
talking about
Tank
yeah, he's talking about Tank and what's his name
and
too?
Michael.
And Michael. Yeah.
They have had crucial offside penalties. 3rd and 8
Yep.
on the goal line. 3rd and 8. It's 3rd and 8. You got a chance to maybe get them off the field or maybe get them to kick a three. Okay, now you make it 3rd and 3. And then
Yeah.
Dan Quinn, I mean, go goal line. He go freaking big nickel, and they go 12 personnel and run that motherfucker down the throat. Like, come on, man. Like,
Dude, stand
come
up in
on,
the end
bro.
zone.
Like,
He just standing up in the end zone.
come on, bro.
If that ain't
Like
bad, like
this dude
one play too.
last
One
year,
play in the end
like,
zone.
I last year, um, Jones ran in the end zone and did the damn what's old boy play with Seattle beast mode. He did the beast mode, hold his nuts and cross and jumped over the line of scrimmage. Jumped over the goal line. If I'm a defensive player, that shit is etched in my mind. The next time I play you, bro, I am trying to break your damn neck every play. Nobody wanted that smoke that last Sunday. Nobody.
So
Nope.
John, they don't play with pride. I told
But
John
I
that
said they were
yesterday.
front runners earlier this year. Remember, I said
Bruh,
they were
like
front runners.
Yeah, I mean,
They
too
displayed
much.
being like front runners.
But they lean too much on the offense though. Again, if
That's
the offense is humming, then they can do
they
what they
good.
say they
They
do.
good.
Yeah,
But they also seem to thrive on turnovers. Like if they get a turnover,
that too.
they do well. But I agree with all of y'all saying we don't really go out and get a third and 8. We don't do. We're not
No,
a team like
no. You know what their biggest problem is too. But
yeah,
because they're so light up front, and we got the problems inside. First down is a killer, man. You watch teams against us; they getting like 6, 7, 8 yards. It's like 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. I'm like, man, they can do whatever they want to do because first down, we
They had
don't win
about
first
9
down.
minutes.
And then,
Green Bay had
We,
about 9
and the
minutes in
funny,
the first quarter.
we don't
and
win
then the
first
funny
down.
thing,
we
yeah,
don't
the
win
funny thing
third and
about it
long
is
either.
that's what I was saying. The funny thing about it is we get to 3rd and long, and we still
Exactly.
can't get no pressure because there's one person on the team who can win a one-on-one pass rush. So when teams
That's it.
are not shifting the entire offensive line towards Micah, and they just said, all right, we'll live and die. They don't call cold calls on Micah like that. If they do, then we cook. But if not, ain't nobody else on that D-line going to win.
Yeah, but they don't even run last year. I'm not saying they need to do it a lot. They don't run a lot of stunts this year either. That was where they used to free up people. So they stopped doing that. It's just a lot of bad. It's a lot of bad stuff. Personnel, coaching.
But man, what I don't understand is like this right here happened to you 2 years in a row, man, where you got bullied the first year, the second year you were better, but you still lost. How in the world can you come out on the third year, first game of the playoffs, and play as bad as that, man? Like that should be in everybody's
Don,
head. We ain't going
you
home
being
today.
You know
generous.
what? Too at least
You going back too far. You got bullied twice during the regular season this year.
That's
Like you
yeah,
ain't even gotta
exactly.
go back. You ain't even gotta go back last year. You got bullied
Sad, man.
twice. You got bullied at San
Yeah,
Francisco, and the Bills just said, you know what? We got
we
an
don't
all-world
care.
quarterback, but what we finna do? We finna run this mofo 50 times down your throat and dare you to stop it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it. Like,
And
come on, man.
that's a bigger indictment too. It's like, man, you should.
because it was Green Bay, 9-8,
Yeah.
the youngest team in the league, and they did whatever they wanted to do against you. Yeah,
Whatever.
that's a tough one to
Whatever.
swallow. I don't know where they go. Bringing back McCarthy is one thing. If you're gonna bring back everybody else and the same personnel group,
You can't, man. Yeah, you can't.
There's no way.
yeah, it's
I
not.
got two guys that'll get you some picks right now.
Okay.
Trey 88 and left.
Trey 88 and who was the second guy?
Trey 88 and Mike.
And 11.
You know
Trey
what?
both of
Reef mentioned this. Willie lost his
them.
way.
Trey both of them.
Like a park.
Yeah, I
Trey
don't.
both of them.
Yeah, look, I can't even say
Trey
don't
both
do
of them.
it. Especially I'll start 88. I'm trying to find
We
somebody else
ain't
to
got
take
no
88 out my
picks.
hand.
We ain't got no picks.
Trey both of them.
Yeah,
I would
but
They get a first.
not be against. I would not be against that because you
Trey
need to
both of them.
reload. They just have that, and they need to cut some people, even if they got people on the contract.
Bye, Gallup. I see you. I see you
yeah,
on
he
the other
gone.
side.
Kirsch need to go too. Well, it's Kirsch
First
gone.
down.
Hooker,
Hooker, you can leave.
Gilly.
Yeah,
You need to get younger and faster.
Everybody,
And I hate to say it, but J. Lou, I love you, but you got to go to.
He ain't
yeah,
under
man.
contract, so he can go.
Yeah,
Go to.
And I ain't gonna lie, here's another one because I said this even before he set out. I would listen to offers for Zach Martin.
I try to trade Zach for a fourth, third and the fourth.
You gotta get younger.
I get a second.
Nah, he just came off an all-pro season. I think you can get a first one.
Man, they made Zach Martin all pro off rep. Like Zach Martin didn't have an all pro year this year.
yeah.
They have an all pro year this year.
That means league executives think he's still.
Okay, so you'll give me a second for him? I'll take a two for him right now.
He think you can get a first one.
You might be
I
able
ain't
to get
nah
first.
because of his age. He ain't got but maybe like 2 more years. So you give me a
To
second.
be fair,
I'll take a second for him. Put TJ Bass right there.
So, but what you're saying is
Max Unger went for a first round pick to the Saints for and he was 31. So I remember that.
Yeah, but we talking about dumbass organization.
You said what?
We talking about We talking
Well,
about a dumb
We
organization.
it's not like
talking
everybody.
about an organization that
It's not
gave
like
Cooper away for a
everybody in the
5.
league is smart either, dog. It ain't like
No, they're
everybody
Yeah,
not.
is smart either.
They're not.
You can
yeah.
get
But
Ain't
some
hey,
nobody.
safety every
but
year.
John, you at the bottom already when it comes to intelligence in terms of trading players. So we
Yeah.
already at the bottom. When I say you,
That
I'm talking about they at the bottom already, man. They
that
gave Cooper away for a 5. What does that tell you?
that
Well,
they'll trade
I'm not
they'll
saying
trade
they
back for
well.
a
I don't think
compensatory
they was looking at the
pick.
pick. I think they was looking at the money.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
do think, based off of 2015, what you saw with your quarterback,
Yep.
the guy you don't get rid of is the dude who all get open. Like the dudes who can actually get separation, them the dudes you keep. Michael Gallup
Where
is the guy that
where they
did
at?
that well.
Where they at? I've been looking for them. Where they at?
We only have one. Well, two. One plays
We
two.
got one sometimes. One sometimes we ain't getting beat up around the
Yeah, we
field.
got one
Then
sometimes when he
he
don't put
just
his hand
quit.
when you don't put hands on him. When he ain't
Yeah.
got no ain't nobody
Hey,
putting hands
hold on,
on him.
fellas. Hold on. I never said I'm okay with keeping him. I was just saying he is the one guy that does get open besides the tight end, like consistently. But
Okay.
as I always tell Reef and Willie, you can get wide receivers every year. They are wide receivers that get separation. So I would rather have
Yeah.
Look what Green Bay just did to him.
yeah, because when you look at it, I know this is a long time, but I always try to tell people, you go back and look at 2016, it wasn't like Dak Dak was throwing to a lot of great. He had Cole Beasley, who used to always get open. He had
Yep.
Diaz, who was just used a certain way. You had Witten. So yeah, you can go out and get you some pass catches. I mean, you can do that. And instead of paying a dude $25 million who did not show up, it wasn't like CeeDee Lamb put on a Terrell Owens type performance. Like it really
No.
balled out. It was
Yeah, he
like, all
did.
right,
He
you won
he
that
did.
particular game, meaning you saw that he did everything he could do when it was actual crucial, as opposed to garbage time numbers that he was putting up. So yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
opening up to trade him. I would be open.
Well, we got third. Well, who was opening drive? Third and what was that? 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Nice pass by Dak. All you got to do is just
Put your
run
hand
under the
out, bro.
ball, dude.
Yup.
Just run under the ball and you gone. The safety was not going to tackle you. And you just start stumbling. Like you had a freaking linebacker on you and you start stumbling.
Yeah.
And then you
And
look back
He's
at Dak
dumb.
like, what are you doing? Like, dude, then you got to pass on the sideline. Like you ain't even looking for the ball. The goddamn ball goes straight to your hands and you got your elbow and your left hand up. What are you trying to freaking
yeah.
do? Like, dude, come on, man. Like, oh, boy.
And then got the nerve to shake his head and
Yeah,
be
yeah.
disappointed.
And he do the stare down at his quarterback, and it's like, what in
I
the
agree.
world are you
I agree.
doing, bro? You
And
didn't get your hands up quick enough
yeah,
for that pass at
he's
all.
not
That was
doing.
all you.
Yep, that's on him, and he's not making it. Then what happens is you start
I
getting
will
the
be
device.
fair. I will be fair a little bit on that one because you got to catch that. You an NFL receiver, you got to catch that. But he probably was thinking it was going to be on his outside shoulder. So I know when I play receiver, it's somebody you're expecting something on your outside, and something comes quicker than what you thought, and it's on your inside shoulder. That's like you gotta.
I get it from a
That's a tough.
technical
That's an
standpoint.
extremely difficult
No,
catch.
I get it from a technical
And
standpoint, but it's the
Right.
reaction after.
But I
Yeah,
got that
man.
one question, though. How many wide receivers? I think we all been watching football long enough time. How many wide receivers have you seen be frustrated after 3 downs?
T.O.
After
Chad,
3 downs.
TL came to
yeah,
mind though. TL did come to mind, but yeah.
T.O. Chad, like big personality guys like that,
You
but
talking about
not a ton, not a
no
ton.
after 3 downs though? I've never seen
No,
one.
Yeah,
three
he
Yeah,
was
downs.
frustrated.
I've seen
After the
T.O.
first three
get
downs, he
pissed
was
after.
frustrated.
What game was this? Reef?
I don't know
Sunday.
specifically. I definitely seen him be mad in like the first quarter. I seen Dez fucking have a fit after a drive. I'm not saying it's like something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
few and far between. It's
But
few
they
and far
but they
between.
didn't melt down though, bro. Like they might have
But
like been frustrated, but you see the rest of the game, you can see them playing though. This dude, it
Oh
was like
yeah,
he
no,
was
I
lost.
agree.
That was
I
it.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
So what? But
that
so
was
what you
it for
saying,
him.
Brian, is once he got frustrated, he checked out.
Oh man, he checked out.
then okay, you get pushed in the back from a DB. Dez ain't gonna take that.
Oh
T.O. ain't
nah,
gonna
dude.
take that.
Nope.
Ain't nobody gonna take that. That shit down on film for the rest of your life. People know that they can bully your ass. and
Yeah.
you ain't gonna do
DK
nothing but
Metcalf
walk
would have got kicked out
away.
the
Bro,
game.
He even barked back
You,
at him. He ain't
but
even
look,
look
B,
back
DK
at him.
like
Metcalf would have
that
got
dude
kicked
got
out the
pushed. He
game.
didn't even turn around and look. He just looked. He just looked at the huddle and started going back toward the huddle. He didn't even look, man. I was like, what the
And
heck?
you know what
like
though?
you,
If he had produced after that, then the look to me wouldn't bother because then he would take it on him on the field. Like I'm
You
a
should have been. That should have been
right.
your thought,
He
man.
didn't
Like, hey,
even
I'm gonna
like
catch
that.
this
They
next
didn't
one,
even
and I'm
start
about to
right.
run
They
it
didn't
down
even
his throat.
start him up. Right. He'd have been like, go back to
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
He just checked out the game from a physical standpoint, competitive standpoint. It was a
he
little
was check, he was
disappointing.
checked out from the corner
Yeah, I think
flips.
he from the start, bro. He was gone.
He was checked
Yeah.
out, bro. Like he was whatever the game plan was that he didn't like, he was checked out. And like
Yep.
sometimes if you're a great player, you know you gotta be that decoy to get other players off. Like
Exactly.
you got to be that guy to take that coverage. You know the play's gonna come back to you. You just got to be that guy to run through and take that coverage. You know, take the
Exactly.
coverage off. Do your job. Sometimes you got to do your job. And it's just like if he ain't getting the ball, if he ain't constantly getting the ball, and then it's like with Dak, it's like okay, well, damn, I need my number one guy, so I'm finna try to squeeze this thing in here. I'm finna try to force it, and you
Yeah.
get a pick six. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that goes back to what Don said. We don't have nothing to lean on. And one, that's a running game. You can be able to have second
yeah,
down and be second and third. That's a hell of a lot better than a second and 9.
But they don't
yeah.
even commit to running the ball. So Tony Pollard get
Nah,
an
man.
8-yard carry, and then they
Yeah.
going right back in the shotgun. I'm
No,
like,
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, Reed, but
Or
they also don't have where they do
or it's
have enough
inconsistent too.
to get something going. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I would be overly stubborn at times and run, but there are
But it's
times
in,
Rico.
but even if you did that, John, though, it's inconsistent though, right?
oh,
Like
I
so
agree.
like first down, they'll run the ball, get 7 yards. Then they'll come back try to run it again and get like -1.
That's
I'm
what I'm
like, dude,
saying.
you just ran them off the field for
Right.
seven
They don't
yards,
have
man. Like you can't get a yard.
I agree. They don't have the ability to
It's
get
just inconsistent, man. That's what I'm saying. Like
when he do get a big run, he'll get a 13-yarder, hold it, and then you got to call it back. So it's
exactly.
all
So you got to throw that in there too. Yep.
everything is disjointed. They don't have like you said, they don't have anything to lean on offensively. Most teams do.
No
No.
rhythm.
Even if it's a passing game,
But yeah,
be able to have something where they can go like on 3rd and 2. If they're not a strong running team, they will
yeah.
have something to go to a slot receiver. Like I'm getting 2 yards. We're gonna get this because we're gonna go to this guy. You still can't do anything. We're gonna go to this guy. We're gonna get our 3 yards. We're gonna get our first down. We're gonna keep moving.
But how many times they try to throw that ball out wide, like to a wide receiver on the screen or a tight end, and
Yeah,
somebody miss a block, man? Next thing you know, he gets blown up.
Oh,
And
bro.
they do that on second down too.
yes, they
On
do.
second down, they'll try that,
Yeah.
and that's when they start losing all those yards. Next thing you know, it's 3rd and forever, and now you expect your quarterback to bail you out every play. It's like, man, you got to have better
Yeah.
execution on offense.
And I
I
don't I
mean,
don't care how great your quarterback is. Like when you got to play a perfect game every time for your team to
every
win,
time.
like that
Yeah,
that's pressure. That's added
I mean,
pressure.
it
Like you
is.
can't.
I mean, there are some quarterbacks
And
who can handle that
but
better than others.
but just
I'm
imagine,
watching.
being that dude on the sideline. Like I'm hard on that dude too. But I got to give him this though, man. Just imagine being on the sideline and you see that defense out there, man, and you see what they're doing. Like the first drive, you see that, you're like, man, well, I better come with it, boy.
He
This
had
about to
to
get
switch
ugly out
gears
here.
after the first
What do
drive.
you think? What you think gonna happen, man?
But it,
Like, like we see that. We see that.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But
I'm saying, like, we see
there
that.
are some quarterbacks
Oh,
who are
shit.
better equipped for it than others. I agree.
Man, but still though, bro. I be in my head off to my side, bro. Like, brother, it's gonna be an ugly one
John,
today.
those quarterbacks that are better equipped for it are also in organizations that
No,
Yeah,
equip
true.
them
I'm not
True.
to
denying
be
that.
able to
I'm
like
not
it's
denying
like
that. They will set them up differently. I'm
like like
not everything everybody said is true. I just think
Yeah.
I said they need to fire everyone. You need to start.
I agree. I
That's the
agree.
only
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
The
I
only
mean,
way
I,
we've been doing this is the same thing we've been doing. We got the same owner. We've been having the same results. We win even when you look at this, let's go to Tony Romo. Win a lot of games, come up short still. Win a lot
mhm.
of games, come up
in the
short.
same way.
Right, and then
Yep.
if we get a head coach, the last dude who seemed to have power, which was Parcells, then you don't want to bring him back because that's just the most horrible
Yeah.
owner. So you go get a soft coach in Wade Phillips. Then you go get another guy that you give a little power to, but you override him because you hire his coordinator before he can even put his stamp. So it's just the same thing over and over again. And like you said,
Like,
I agree with you. It is no way I'm a head coach and you got my offensive coordinator there. And on my resume, I am an offensive dude. No, take this job. I'm not taking the L boy as my OC. You either take me or I'm not going. So
Well, that's on McCarthy. There, he should have been like,
that's the judgment on
yeah.
McCarthy. That means you just was happy to get the job.
And he was.
he
We all
was.
know
He
he was,
was.
man.
He was. He
Yeah,
was.
he was just happy to get the job.
He was. He was. I just want one coach to come into Dallas and listen to everything Jerry Jones got to say in the meeting and listen to all that shit. And when the game is on the field on Sunday, change up all that shit. I'm not doing what you say.
You
As
know what
long as you're
though?
winning, what
You
he
know
gonna
what?
do?
I
He gonna
don't want
fire me?
I don't want that.
I want somebody. I want somebody to push back,
I
man.
wanted coach to come in and tell him, which was probably Parcells,
I'm sure it's Parcells.
the way you was doing it doesn't work.
Yep.
You guys ain't did shit for 28 years. You've been nowhere for 28 years. It's over 10,000 days. Nothing has worked for you. We're gonna do it my way. And the
I
thing,
think McCarthy told him that, but in
no,
a
we didn't.
sense,
No, we
I
didn't.
think he told him. Hold on, I think he told him something similar last year. I
I
think he
Right.
know,
told him something.
Right.
I think he told him something similar last year
but by
to
that,
get
the
Kellen
only thing he
to get Kellen
by
out.
that time, everything that you've been trying to do is wasted. You wasted 3 years. You
Yeah,
literally
yeah, yeah,
wasted
Yeah.
3
You
years.
wasted time. I agree with you on that. But
yeah.
Dak Prescott
but
is 3 years older. Everyone else that you probably wanted to move on from is 3 years. Dude, this boo-boo
Yeah,
coordinator you have has not gotten you to the promised land. This culture does
yeah,
not work. I agree that I do think there's some things he said, but I also think he was okay with it. You think Bill Parcells would have been okay with him telling, I'm going to hire your defensive coordinator? Parcells would have walked. He's like, no, you can do this. But
yeah.
and I understand this is just Mike's personality. And I think that he tries to make it work, but I think he realized this is different than Green Bay. Jason wasn't a
Oh
good
yeah.
coach, but Jason was the dude who did go against him. Remember when he said, well, Sean Lee's going to start, but we had Van Der Esch? Van Der Esch started. When he said Romo was going to start, Prescott started. The problem is Jason wasn't a good head coach. He wasn't a great one. We just, fellas, until Jerry Jones is no longer the owner, he's going to go to this thing, man.
Yeah.
I don't see
I
it.
mean, yeah, yeah.
unfortunately.
I just don't see it. I just don't. And you're right about. I say this about Steven. He talks too much. We're the only front office that talks about contract open to the public. We're the only ones. Remember how Lamar's situation in Baltimore was? It was kind of out there with the media, but you never heard from the Baltimore front office.
Nope.
They didn't say anything.
Nope.
They got it done. This is what happens in Dallas. Well, I don't know if they want a piece of the pie and the flag flying around. So therefore, we got to feed the other. You know how it is.
We got a whole lot of pie. We got a
It's
whole
all
lot of pie to cut.
they do that, and they
Yeah, we do.
us against the players to make it seem like the players are what?
And see, if I'm that, guess what? I take a team friendly deal. I'll take a team friendly deal. Pay me less. Don't pay me big money. I'm gonna take less money, and then I'm gonna lift my no trade clause because I want you to get me the hell up out of here.
Lift it,
Why they
please.
won't do that?
Lift it.
I want you to get me the hell
Go
up out of
ahead.
here.
Lift it. I want you to. I dare you.
I want you to get me the hell up out of here.
If he do that, they're gonna keep him there. He's not going, and I don't believe he's built like that. I don't think he's gonna demand a trade. That ain't the type of guy he is. You know, but
Man.
they need one.
I got 12 teams he can go to right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of. There's probably more than that.
I got 12 teams he can go to
If they
right now.
sign him to a
12.
team-friendly deal and he breaks that trade clause, he's gonna retire a Cowboy. They're not gonna trade him.
Man. Well, Baltimore better stop playing.
What's the score?
3-0. Schultz just dropped a dime,
Who
like a
leads?
straight Baltimore 3-0.
Oh, Texas better than I thought they are.
Hey, and why is that? Look at their coach.
Schultz,
Yeah,
Schultz just did Schultz things, and
yeah,
he went to a bad organization. Like he went to a super bad organization. Like
yeah.
the Texans
But
I
was
think
a
it
it
worked
bad
out.
organization.
but it appears that owner decided that what they were doing didn't work, and he stayed out.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Jed. Jed wants so much credit for what's going on. It's like, dude, just be an owner. You're gonna get the credit. You're the owner. You're gonna get the credit. You get the credit for
One
the
thousand
hiring. You get the
percent.
credit for whatever. Oh
Yep.
Lord, man, they just let him get 10 yards. What the hell? Baltimore better stop playing, bro.
Anything else
Like,
to say
like I
about
just, I'm finna. I'm gonna get my. I'm gonna. The next podcast we do, I'm gonna have me a Fire Steven shirt. I like I need somebody in the zone. I think that will be the only thing that'll just galvanize the fan base. Like if you just say, well, we gonna do something to shake things up. Like don't bring back like Dan. I'm hoping Dan Quinn get hired. I really am.
I'm gonna
I'm
tell you
hoping
this,
somebody.
man.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
hoping
hoping that
Seattle
too.
hire him. I'm
When
hoping
it's
Seattle
got to
hire him.
this point where it hasn't been any type of success for 10,000 games, no one can galvanize anything unless you win. Because what's happened? I mean, it's not towards Prescott or anybody. We hear the same thing. Dak is gonna say I played bad. I didn't do
Yeah,
things the
yeah,
right way. But in the end, it's results.
yeah.
People want to see them win. And
And
unfortunately,
that tried. Go ahead.
they haven't did it. Every year, this is what happens. They breathe in hope, people watch, and they get bounced. And to get bounced by
Yeah.
Green Bay is more embarrassing than anything because it wasn't like it was San Fran. I think people could have stomached if this was the NFC conference game. We got bounced like this from San Fran. But to get
Yep.
beat by
First round.
the first round little boy
Wild card.
a wild card. All we doing is creating the wrong type of history. It is because
Yeah, big time.
that second seed has ever been bounced by a 7th seed. We was the
Not
first
since
one.
they expanded the
Well,
playoffs.
that's because they expanded the playoffs. So I
What, a
mean,
couple
I
years?
know, but I'm
Yeah.
just
that's
saying we're
yeah,
making
but
history. We're making
yeah,
history.
but six seeds have bounced
Oh,
second seed
I
because
know. We got
no, but
bounced
and
by a
see
seed.
normally
We got
yeah
bounced by.
normally that's yeah that and normally that second seed normally has bye and all that. So I mean I get it, but like I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. Like I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know.
You
This
had
is so
everything in front of you this year, though.
yeah.
You
This
had
is
everything in front
so
of
yeah. You had everything. This is so bad. You got people's
Ooh,
mothers.
oh, shit,
You
he
got
threw a
people's
pick.
brothers on Twitter talking about stuff they shouldn't talk about.
you.
You got
CD
I don't
Law.
believe is that his mom for real?
far as
Yeah, I
I've
don't know
heard,
about
it
that,
is
man.
his mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
Lena
is?
Ramirez is his mom.
Well, she need to sit
Dang.
her head down.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't trying to
Don't
say
put that out
that
there.
about
Nah,
nobody mama,
but
but
Don't put that
if
out there,
your
though, man.
son but this is the problem that I have with her. You weren't saying shit when your son was the hottest freaking receiver in the league. You weren't saying nothing.
Yeah,
And
here
now all of
word.
a sudden Dak Prescott ain't it with your son got 2 drops.
you know what is worse too? Content creators retweeting that shit because I would never retweet that.
It's like that, but everybody like Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are an algorithm and Dak Prescott is an algorithm.
It is.
Of
Everybody
course.
trying to get clicks. That's all what people
Hmm.
are trying to do. Everybody trying to get clicks.
I
Like
mean, but
all these content
I remember
creators that got
Dak's
on my
brother
nerves.
used to talk a lot, and then he stopped.
Who did?
Who?
Yeah, Dak Prescott's brother. I don't see his brother tweeting as
No,
much.
he's still out there. He's still out
He
there.
put one out. He put one out there. He
Maybe
put one out there
maybe you
this
know
week.
what?
What today?
Maybe I blocked him because I just
Yeah,
don't
he put
like.
one. He put one out there
Oh, he
He
did.
don't
about
tweet as much. He don't tweet as
yeah.
much. He don't.
Yeah, and now
Yeah, he
you got
don't tweet as
Micah
much.
Parsons' brother saying it's just
But then, and see that's what made me say they're gonna have to trade Michael Parsons' brother talking about well y'all gonna miss him when he gone, bruh. Who who gonna turn down the money that he gonna turn down? Like you
Right.
gonna turn
Right.
down money to go somewhere, and it ain't guaranteed that the team that you because most of the time when you're a player like Michael, the team that's gonna
Yeah.
give you the most money is the team that's got the most salary cap money, and it's the team that's trash. So if you playing, but it ain't like your brother. Like okay, I love Micah as a pass rusher, but Micah as an edge player,
Yeah.
he got a lot to learn, man. He got a lot to learn because if I can make you a non-factor just by running split zone to you or away from you, and you
Yep.
don't know what to do in those situations, you making yourself you make you got a 3-3 ball game. You making yourself obsolete, like bro,
Tight end, thought it would be.
You run yourself right out of play.
like you gotta and these are things that if you're watching film that as a D line coach, if that's your edge player, you gotta coach them up on that. As a player, if you're watching film and you got DeMarcus Lawrence right there on your team, hey man, what do I need to do to be able to play this? How do I need to play this? Because there's some time when you're unblocked, all you got to do is just fold back and make the tackle. You might make the tackle for a 3 or 4 yard gain, but you at least holding back,
That's
making the
better than
tackle.
nine and
It's
11.
better than nine. It's better than you just looking dumbfounded. Like, where did the
Yep.
ball go?
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Like,
Okay,
child
so I'm
stupid.
gonna ask you, what would I know the regular season is the regular season, but what would have to happen in the off season for you guys to say, maybe, maybe they, maybe they're gonna make some, maybe it's gonna be a little different. I'm not saying we're gonna go to the Super Bowl or the whatever the
hmm
but what
So
moves would have to happen in the off season for you guys to come away with and say, all right, I do see that they realize they need to make some changes, that they seem to understand it. What moves would happen for the off season?
have to show me something up on the defensive side, man. Like with the
Yeah,
tackles. I mean, I think this isn't the contract year for Olsen.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so show me something there where you got to do in the contract year, but go out there, man, and let's get some guys that can come in here and that can really like play the run like you need to. Go grab a linebacker.
Can
If
you
you do stuff like
maybe
that,
free
that
agent?
would be a good start. Look for some free agents, man, at linebacker, or hey, find me a number two receiver. Try to help your quarterback out, man. Or find more, I guess more importantly than that, find me a running back or either if you're not gonna do that, man, like let's just try to do something with the line. You gotta do something, man, to where you try to get better. You can't go back in the season doing the same thing. Like you can't say like we just gonna put it all on a quarterback and then we're gonna try to, just try to be better and learn from what happened. You can't do that, man. Like you gotta address the deficiencies that are on your team. And if you can't stop the run, man, everything else is gone. I mean, that's just 1-on-1. You got to be able to stop the run on defense, man. And if you can't stop the run and you don't get the players, then that's on you. Because I mean, like you see, eventually it might look good the first 6 games or 7 games of the season, but eventually you're gonna wear down.
You
And
would.
teams know that too.
And nothing is more demoralizing than somebody running 8, 9.
That's man, it's just sad, man, to know you watching like I'm watching TV. I'm not even on the field. I didn't even dress. I don't have on a helmet. And I know they're about to run this ball right down their throat. Just imagine being a defensive player like Bell. You know that ball is about to come right at you, but before you get to the ball, you're gonna have a big old 300-pound lineman coming at you, and he's about to knock you like to the sideline.
And
There
then
ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't do nothing because coach keep calling the same play, putting you back out there, even though you know it's coming. I'd be mad at him too. Like, man, what are you doing?
yeah, what do
You trying to get me killed out here?
put me in a position that I physically this
Yeah.
is not. I can't match up for this.
And you know it's coming too, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So they definitely gotta address that part, man. Like, don't be sitting up here paying guys because we like our guys. Like, you ain't gotta pay. Who said you had to pay Olsen? You ain't gotta pay Olsen. Get you a tackle, man. Go find somebody who really knows how to play against the run and can be disruptive. Or if you're gonna sign guys like that, then they're gonna be part of a rotation.
Gotcha. Brian? Same thing.
Uh, move Micah back to linebacker. Get me a linebacker coach and work on fixing the middle of your defense, fixing your tackles, fixing your linebackers, and fixing your safety.
No, I got that. But I mean, what moves would you have to see it via the draft or free agency?
Them the move. Them the move.
Okay.
Them the moves that I need to
Yeah.
see first and foremost. That I
So
know that you're
if
serious
they go
about
out
fixing
there,
your problem.
they get some real linebackers.
Get you
prototypical
some real
linebacker.
linebackers.
And then we go
Get
and see
you
they get some real
D tackles
D tackles and maybe a strong side
and,
defensive end, somebody that's big.
and some safeties that's going to be safeties.
Playing
Like
coverage.
that's
Yeah.
going to play in coverage. That's going to recognize coverage. That ain't gonna be
Yep.
running 5 yards up the field when it's a freaking you already 10 yards off the ball and you trying to go stop the run when you need to be staying back. Like get me some guys that know how to play the position.
Yeah, with awareness. I
Like
agree with
with
you.
awareness.
Go
Like
get me
Now
down the
Patrick
middle.
Queen.
let's say they
That's
do
where
that.
we hurt.
Are you guys cool with Dan Quinn coming back, or you want to move on?
No,
I want Dan Quinn to get hired by Seattle. Please,
he got
please
to go.
hire him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Please
want to
hire
move
him.
Addition
on.
by subtraction. We good with that.
Yeah, I want to move on. I want to move on. I've seen
Yeah.
enough.
Man, you know what? You know what's sad though, man? And I know it happens every team. That's why coaches get replaced. But it seems like we always had a defensive coordinator that the first couple years be on a roll, but man, by that third, fourth year, it just leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It was
Do
like
you
that with
think?
DQ.
Marinelli.
Do
It
you
was
think
like
they
that with
give
DQ. It was like that with Rashad. You just name it, man. It's like we always have defense coordinators start out
give
hot,
them too
and
much
then I guess they get
power?
figured out.
You think they give them too much power based off their success?
They got to do something, man, because it's like how can it be, man, when you get to your third or your fourth year, it just starts looking like a train wreck. I mean, it looks bad, man. We haven't had a stint, man, in a long time. We had a defensive coordinator where you knew they play good defense. Well, and then we never really committed that much resource wise in the defense either. But I'm just saying, man, like it just seems like by that third or that fourth year, whoever the D coordinator is, man, it started looking. It's an embarrassment, man. Like they don't have
Yeah,
answers at all.
but if you remember though, when DQ was in Atlanta, he
Hmm.
admitted that he was a bad self-scouting coach.
Yeah,
Like
that's why I was trying. That's why I was trying to
he
go.
didn't.
Because remember when he came here, he brought Neil to play linebacker for
Yeah,
him.
Yeah,
Keanu Neal.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just didn't
yeah.
kind of
Like
work out.
yeah,
At that
like
time, I
he
was
did.
like, all right,
Yeah,
I get it. We don't have a weak side guy. We kind of bringing him in. All right, that's fine. But then last year, I'm not saying they were great, but they were more traditional. So I thought this year we would just get guys who were younger, but they were more
Hmm.
backs. But we just got smaller. So with Rod,
yeah.
it's always been a thing with him is the opposite. He likes to get the more try hard guys. He'll take less talent. And it's just like,
Motor.
man, I'm like, dude, hold
Hot
this
motor
thing.
guys.
I need talent. I need some guys who can put in and play. But you also about self scout. So like he liked Tristan Hill, but then when Tristan didn't work out, he just put him in the doghouse. And was just like, I'm fine with. But it's like you pounded the table for this dude. So sometimes I wonder if they give them too much power.
They might.
Eh, yeah, and I see Dan Quinn. He didn't build the Legion of Boom. He didn't
Oh,
draft
no,
none of
we
those
built that.
players.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He just
yeah.
he just he just
He inherited
inherited
that.
those players. And
Yeah.
see when you and he had a defensive minded head coach. Like now you got an offensive minded head coach that has empowered you to just be on your own. You handle that side of the ball, and I handle my side of the ball. And when shit working, you see how Dan Quinn is when they pass to him in the box, he doggone yelling and stuff like that. But he happy.
Yeah.
But when shit ain't working, he the most calmest motherfucker in the damn box. Like he ain't when
Yeah.
it ain't working for him. He don't have nothing to counter that. Like
Yeah, that's
you
why.
can't be in the box looking at this shit and be like, okay, yeah, that can work right now. Yeah, that's gonna work.
Exactly, man.
Can't be. Can't be. There's no way.
Look, that's the dude that convinced him to draft. What's the dude? Right, Deshaun Wright. That should tell you all you need to know. He ain't the
But he did
one
the same
finding
shit in
play.
Atlanta. He did the same shit in Atlanta. Every year he would reach for a cornerback.
That's what I'm
Every year.
saying, man.
He did the
But
same
that's what I'm
shit in
saying. You
Atlanta.
can't afford to waste picks, man. Because that's another dude. You need to just let him go because you don't have. What does he
He
do for your
draft
team? Nothing.
All he
he
does is
drafted
play
small
special teams.
linebackers.
And you could have
He
got
drafted small
guys
LSU linebackers.
like the linebackers we had can do the same thing.
Hmm.
Put Sam Williams and making him the gunner. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, see, that's on
Foster's,
what's the
but
name?
see, but
That's
hey,
on
Bones
Foster.
another one though, man. Sometimes I question him. It's like, man, how many like fake punts did we give up this year?
But you know what though? But on that, they got rid of the guys that would normally play special teams, which is a lie.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
But
true.
see,
also
Yeah, that's
now,
true.
now, if I'm,
one
if
guy.
I'm,
Who's the guy
yeah,
that
if
kept
I'm,
around forever that played special teams for them?
Oh, CJ Goodwin,
He got hurt.
CJ Goodwin,
he got hurt.
yeah,
Yeah,
There's another one because we talked about this. I was fine with moving on for Calvin Joseph, but he did play special teams real well. So
yeah,
trade him
yeah,
for another guy who don't really play special teams all that
yeah.
good. So it's like you
And
don't
see
yeah.
need
that, and
his player.
I would have attacked Tober. I would have attacked Tober too, though. You had Tober that was a
Right,
gunner on
right.
your,
He
yeah.
doesn't know how to
Like,
play that. He doesn't.
yeah. He don't know how to play. He can't play. He can't cover. Like he don't know
Right,
how to cover. Like that. So
right.
that
You
was the
asking
that
right,
was just I'm looking at personnel.
right.
Like
So
yeah,
you're
yeah,
taking
that was,
away the guys that really can play special
yeah,
teams for him, and you're replacing them with dudes who not. Because Devin
yeah.
Harper could play defense, but he was a special
He
team.
could play special team. Right.
Luke
Yeah.
Gilbert
Well,
could play defense, but he was a special team dude. So it's like you're getting rid of all of his guys that can play that, and you're not helping him none. So now he got to coach a bunch of new dudes, and they're probably doing stuff. So when I saw Sam Williams out there, I was like, all right, it's great from an athletic standpoint, just seeing him out there. But I'm like, you can tell that he's not good at that. I agree with you, Brian. Every time they did the fake punt, it was on the wide receiver who ain't used to
yeah,
cover.
yeah. It was on Tober. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gotta
I can't
fix
fault
that.
him for that. Yeah, I
yes,
can't fault him for
who
that.
you should have been kind of. We thought we would gradually try to get him to take over Gallup's spot. You would move on from Gallup and maybe keep, I don't know, Isaiah Land, who
Hmm.
special teams and is a linebacker. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a bad. They got a lot of work to do.
So what about we didn't talk about the secondary though. Like y'all feel good about having Bland on the outside again this year with Diggs?
I would rather move him inside and see if he find you a boundary corner. If you can't find you a boundary corner, he can play.
Mm.
But I also thought some of his limitations started to go up as the season started to go on. I think
Yeah.
he can play outside. But try to find a guy that can play outside. Because he's shown you he
But
can do
Bland, yeah,
it.
but Bland on teams number two, I'll take that outside. I'll take that outside.
Yeah, what
If
I'm saying
I'll
is,
take that outside.
I'm not taking a shot at him. I think he can play outside. But imagine if you actually found another guy that can. Now you got a even stronger core because he can play
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
or outside. So yeah, I'd
Hmm.
rather try to find a boundary guy, but if I can't, I can still use him outside.
Yeah.
I just think they need to get somebody bigger, faster, and I think it's set in the secondary.
It just
But
depends on what they want their philosophy to be. That's what my biggest thing about finding out offensively. How do you want to construct this team? And
Yeah.
what I would want to see is, first off, a Mike McCarthy extension. Because if you're gonna roll with him this year as your head coach, like you got to give him more than a year to get this figured out. So like,
yeah.
I would want to see an extension and then figure out what you want to be as a football team. Because anybody could tell me what our identity was as a football team. You could say we were a finesse team, or you could say that we're posing as a physical team. But what was our identity? Like, honestly,
I think we were more of a finesse team because we couldn't run.
but and that's fine. We're not good at being a finesse team.
No, we're not. We're not. But I think
So-
we do lean towards more finesse because we can't run when we want to run.
And that's fine. If you're going to be a finesse team, go all in with being a finesse team. Don't
Oh,
pose
I
as a
agree.
Yeah.
But when you give away Amari Cooper and the dudes who can't get open, you're not helping the quarterback from a skill position. Then if you're gonna do that, you also got to get better tackles who can move.
So this is what I would say.
Yeah.
If you want to be a finesse, rely on your offense, then you need to go heavy into. You gotta be a little heavier in free agency. Get you a couple receivers to come in. Get you draft you a receiver in the draft. Get you a running back in the draft. If you want to be a defensive heavy team, you go out and get you some interiors in the offseason. There's a lot of interiors that are on contract years that are coming off. There's a lot of edge guys that are on contract
Patrick
years.
Queen.
I don't know if Danielle Hunter's gonna get a long-term deal from nobody. He's 30. You might have to get him for like 1 year, $8-9 million. That's fine. That's a guy to get you 19 sacks and a legitimate DN. You can get you the D tackle from the Ravens that's probably out there tearing shit up right now, who's on a contract year. You can get Patrick Queen.
I mean, there's a couple of guys from the Patriots too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just they got to
figure out what
they want. They got to figure out what they want to do and what direction they want to go. And if they're gonna go that direction, go all in. Don't go half in on how you want to build yourself as a football team. If you want to be a top flight offense, make yourself a top flight offense with everything you need. If you want to be defensive heavy, make yourself defensive heavy.
But I think they were like the number one offense in the league this year, right?
Yeah, we're the number one offense points.
Yeah, I know it's in the calendar. So I know a lot of them. Yeah.
That point wise, we getting block punts for touchdowns.
Of course.
10 pick sixes from Bland. You getting fumbles returned for touchdowns. So that stuff is kind of inflated. So
of course, but man, if it's me, I'm gonna find me a runner, man. I'm gonna find me a guy that can run the football. I'm gonna start running the football. That's gonna be their identity because that carries over to the playoffs, and you can be consistent with that. Because that's the problem, man.
That boy from Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
What's his name? Blake Plum.
Yeah. So they struggled. They struggled when they couldn't throw the football, they didn't have nothing else to fall back on. Like nothing. We know they can pass the football, but man, you got to get better in the running game. You got to be way more balanced, man, so that teams fear that run as much as they do the pass. And we definitely need to get a number 2 receiver too as well. But man, really, if it's me, I'm concentrating on being able to run that ball on offense and being able to play better run defense for sure. Like if I fix those two, then the rest of it. Go ahead, you good, Reese?
No, I was just gonna say my problem with that sounds good, but you're not gonna do that with no lame build coach, and we don't got enough assets in draft for us to get everything we need. Like,
yeah.
So you got
free agency, man.
What do you
Yeah, exactly. But that's something they don't go heavy in. So I'm like, okay, you ain't got no draft picks. I don't think you're going to trade nobody to get draft picks, and that's fine. That means you got to get up somewhere. If you don't got a lot of draft picks, man, you got to go heavy in free agency, or you could trade one of your one of your guys who think you can get a lot of value for and get you a few picks, and then you can still do both. Go heavy in free agency and then go heavy in the draft. But you can't just. I'm getting the inkling and the feeling that they just gonna run this back. Like literally, they're gonna say it.
Man, I hope not.
What you mean they're gonna stay with the same players?
I hope not.
Not the same players, but the similar type of philosophy they've had the past 7.
Cut Gallup, elevate Jalen Brooks.
We're gonna wait until day 7. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about?
We're gonna wait till day. We're gonna wait till day 8. We're gonna wait till day 8 and make any noise in
free agency standpoint.
Yeah.
From a draft standpoint. So they're just gonna like.
Okay, you confuse
like I don't know what they want to be, because on one hand you draft a dude like Bland. Bland's a man. He's a man guy. He's a man corner. But then in the same breath, the previous year you drafted Nashawn Wright, who's primarily a zone quarter. So what type of defense are you trying to run?
Well,
I get guys that are
versatile. I can't. I'm not gonna over pick them for. I'm not saying I would have drafted Nashawn Wright, but a lot of teams overreach.
Yeah, if you're running a cover 3 scheme.
But
are you running a cover 2 scheme?
No, what I'm saying is a lot of people just will draft a guy because they just like him. I'm not saying I would do it. I like to draft ball play. I draft projects. If you're gonna do that, you do that in the 7th round. Like when you got an extra 7, you think this guy has a lot of upside, you take a flyer. I don't do it in the first 3 rounds, even 4. But in the 5th, okay, it's a dude there, you got a lot of physical traits. You think maybe he can fit something, then you go out and do it. But a lot of teams do that.
But John, what is he fitting? Like, what is?
I don't know. Well, I didn't.
When you play 70% of the time
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying is I had no idea what they were going to do with him when they got him. And then when I started to see what they
didn't either. It sounds like
that's the problem. Like, so when they started, I had visioned them being more like I told you. I've always said I thought they were going to be more like McCarthy's roster when he won the Super Bowl in 2010. At least it appeared that way. They went out and got ghosted. I thought he was going to be the strong side defensive end, but they like you said, they added him to gain weight, and then they made him a 3-tech. And I was like, okay.
He's 280 pounds. You got playing 3 technique. That don't make no sense.
Right. So I didn't understand that. Then he put on weight to get nearly 300, and then he dropped weight. Then you keep Gallimore, and he's been a disappointment since his rookie, so I didn't understand that. Then so it's a lot of things I just didn't.
Even Osa at UCLA, he played DN for the most part, but then they would move him in the 3-tech when they were pass rush now.
I've seen guys be moved in. Like Jay Ratliff was a guy that played defensive end. He was moved inside. But normally, if you're going to do it and you're going to have an undersized 3-tech, you usually have him paired with a dude who is a monster at the 1. He's a big physical dude. So last year we saw Osa have his best game, but I also knew Jonathan Hankins was an older player. So you go out and you get monster. But you play Hankins like he's 23 years old and he wears down because he's 34 years old. So it's just, and then we all said this about Armstrong and Fowler. So it's like we already kind of know who they are. So you run it back with them. But you had younger options that you drafted or you signed, and then you didn't even exploit. Mm-hmm. It's just what it looks like to me. Coaches fall in love with players. People do that. I'm not saying it's the right way. It's like what Don said, bro. You got to give up the love. Like when the production is not there, dudes are not playing. And I thought when they drafted Jalen Smith, that they were going to be this team to say, okay, if you can't play for us, we're going to move on. But what do? They run it back with the same guys. They run it back with Kurtz. They run it back with Donovan Wilson. They run it back with Armstrong and Fowler. And it's just like you got younger options. That's the thing that's confusing. They have some options, but they decided not to go with their options. So that's the thing that just is surprising to me. I don't understand it.
That'll be something that if they got young on defense, that'll be something I think would show me that they were willing to change if they got young on defense. But like if I'm kind of with Reef. I just think they're gonna run it back. I think they're gonna run it back, make minimal changes, create.
They haven't made
agency. You don't do much work.
They haven't. They did.
I just think they're gonna be better.
Well, they did at one point when they did go get Hooker. They had who was the other safety we had that we brought from Atlanta? What was the guy's name?
Keanu Deal.
No, not the other one.
You talking about KZ. You talking about KZ?
I had no problem. I had no problem when they got KZ, and then they had Hooker.
But KZ and Hooker was both coming off Achilles.
No. What I'm saying is, I had no problem when they did it, but I was also always like, okay, so sign get a draft a young one too. So when you got a lot of problems, you try to get a lot of quantity to find out who sticks and who's going to work.
Right.
You got as much as you could from KZ. All right, cool. You didn't re-sign him. Hooker, we all agreed. I was like, okay, you don't need to re-sign. But then they signed him again. So that's the I just don't get. When you got him at first, you got him at
but why, John? Because you ain't give. But they don't give themselves no out in anything. That's like you said. So I seen something similar.
You had
the Bengals. They
you had an out. You didn't have to.
I'm saying though. Yeah, I know you don't have to extend them, but then who you gonna put back there? So like I seen the Bengals do like this past offseason. They had Jesse Bates. They knew Jesse Bates was in the contract year. They knew for a fact they weren't going to sign Jesse Bates to a long-term deal. That's fine. What did they do? Now I know you don't like drafted safeties late in the first round, but they went out and got them a good safety.
But what I'm saying, the Dallas Cowboys had Tyler Cole, they had Bell, they had Israel, they had Wyatt. They had safeties on the roster. We just don't see them be played.
But then, if that's the case, if they don't like Dan Quinn, don't like him or don't like to play him, then you got to go out and get somebody that Dan Quinn will play.
But it comes to a point though. I know none of us are defensive coordinators, but if we do see the guys who are younger, better. If we see this, you'll assume he does. But if he loves them so much, then you need to find a coach that's going to coach the guys you want, or he needs to do that.
I agree. So, like, I'm cool with running them back. Then get a coach that can work with the personnel that you got.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So, I don't. For me, the biggest change I want to see before they get to the personnel, because personnel is usually secondary.
Yeah,
I want
figure
to
out
see
who gonna be a coach.
who gonna be the coach. So if
Yeah,
you
like what is it? Yeah,
if you
Mm-hmm.
get rid of him, because if it was me, I don't know what McCarthy thinks, but if it's me, he can't sit there and say this is the same team I won a Super Bowl with. He won a
Nah,
Super
man.
Bowl with a certain style of personnel, big running backs, big size. He has to see this. So he can't just sit here and say, yeah, this is gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? So if he comes back and rolls back with the same guys, then more than likely you're gonna have the same similar personnel because you're fine with these coaches.
Ooh, we got a tie ball game, baby.
I don't care.
All day.
I
It was
can't
just
call.
10-3.
Stroud.
We got a tie ball game, baby.
CJ Stroud ain't playing, man. That
They
dude
ain't got nothing to
assassin,
do with
man.
Stroud. They just they defense is playing.
But it
Stroud
was
ain't
just
playing too
10-3.
well.
Oh, what
They
happened? How they
yeah, it was
score?
just 10, 6, 7 yard punt return.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But like and then too, like Israel, like to me last year, playoff, the way he played versus Green Bay, I thought that Israel was a player that was on the rise. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like come back this year, he don't even get playing time.
You're right.
No.
You don't even use him as a piece to your defense. Like, what are you
Nope.
doing? Like you could have to me, you could have used him against Green Bay in the slot if you wanted to use him in the slot.
And the funny
Like
thing
you
is,
could have
and
used him as safe. It's like you don't use him.
B, when they got him in the 7th round, he played boundary corner on the other side of J.C. Horn at South Carolina. He didn't play
Exactly. And he was
corner.
Yeah,
good,
he
too.
did.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then what's the D in the fourth round that we got? Dang it. I can't remember his name right now. Was that
Fehoko.
yeah, Hoko.
For
Yeah.
Hoko.
Where's he been, man? It is a fourth round pick, man. You've been inactivating him
And the
all year.
thing is, he has actual size. He's like 285.
Exactly. But I'm saying, like, that's a fourth round guy, man. Do you know if he can play? I
Nope.
don't. Because they never
No.
gave him a chance.
And that's a year.
Like,
How sweet.
And it's not like the guys that was in the rotation was so much better.
that's what I'm saying,
No.
man. Like,
No.
you
We
got a
already
guy that's
know what
unproven coming back and you don't even know.
we
You don't even
already
know if he can play or not.
we already know what Armstrong and Fowler is. It's like cool. Choose one of the two. You ain't got to bring
Yeah.
both back. Just choose one of them and decide to go young. It's
Yeah,
You kept
man.
Ty, you kept Ty Sweet on the roster. You
bro.
played him
He is
a
big
few
as heck.
times, and
6'2", 260.
you
And
don't
he
even
can
play
play
him no
strong. He
more.
can play strong side linebacker and he can play edge.
6'2",
You don't play him no more.
260, man. 6'2", 260. You gonna
Then
tell
I
me you
seen
gonna put
somebody
Bell
on
out there?
yeah. Then I seen somebody on Twitter talking about, hey man, I would like to try Sam Williams at linebacker. Man, Sam Williams is not no damn linebacker.
Oh
You
my
can't just
gosh.
take any freaking body
You
and put
shit
them
ain't
at
Just
man.
throwing
linebacker in
a
the NFL and
He
be like,
doesn't
oh yeah,
right.
he'll
He
work.
doesn't have the flexibility for that, man.
No, he don't.
Man,
You gonna
Like
put
no,
yeah,
that
bro.
that's what it
you
Have
is.
gonna
you
put that
come
dude
on,
out
bro.
there on an
have
island.
you heard the dude's interview, man, about what they told him to do at Ole Miss? They didn't even give him. He didn't work on anything. They just told him go get the quarterback. That's it.
And
He
that's
didn't
He
have to
ain't
do
been playing
nothing else.
football for
what I would just work on him is just being a better overall player because he tries to
No, but I'm
shoot.
that's
saying
it.
like that
That's
they
it.
they pared it down so much to him when he was in college to where they just said just go tackle the quarterback. That's
Exactly.
it.
You know
They didn't give him no other responsibilities at all.
this is his 6th year. He only played, I want to say, 1 year of high school football,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
can
yeah,
tell
he
that
did
got a
late. He started
scholarship
late.
to Ole
I
Miss.
can tell that
Yeah,
he started late.
yes,
I don't
yeah,
have a problem
he
with
was
him
an
because I like
athlete.
his attitude and I like how he
Yeah,
play, but we need better coaches. We need
Yeah,
better
man.
personnel.
Somebody coach him up.
well,
We need better
well,
personnel too.
that by Avon Dirty. What is his contract? Is his contract up? D
Who?
line coach Avon Dirty.
All of them are on 1 year deals. Like
Oh
they're
man,
all tied to McCarthy.
Oh, they tied to McCarthy. Yeah, we got him again next year.
somebody got to go.
But
Then. Yeah,
I
man.
need somebody.
but
I need
see,
Dan Quinn to go.
here's the thing for me though. If this was players and they gave these performances, everybody would be
They
screaming the coach.
cut.
But
Everybody be
as
cut.
this is the
Yep.
coach, it's just like, no, just move on from him. Just
Oh,
move
if you gonna bring back the head coach, let him bring in his own
his
assistants. Let
own
him
people.
bring in his own people. Let him let him do what he need to do to get it right. Don't
what
don't hand, don't handicap him with Dan Quinn. Don't do it.
Hey.
Just let Dan Quinn go. We appreciate your services. You did very well, but
Yeah,
at this
you can
point in
go.
time, we're going another direction.
And that's what I wanted
Hey
to hear
man,
in the
so
press conference. It's like we're gonna
you
go,
wait on that
we're
press
gonna go
conference.
elsewhere. Yeah, we're gonna go in a different direction. That's what I want to
Yeah,
hear.
McCarthy called. Hey
What?
man, please hire the dude. Please hire the dude. Cause see, I mean, if if Harbaugh or what's the name, if Harbaugh or Belichick take the job in Atlanta. If Belichick take the job in Atlanta, I think Harbaugh going back to Michigan. If Harbaugh take the job in Atlanta, I think Belichick going to Cleveland. I mean, going to San Diego. So
Hell, if I was
you
either
going?
one of them, I would try that San Diego job with the quarterback.
Yeah, you got a quarterback.
You got the
Man, I
quarterback at
wouldn't.
least there. I ain't calling him the cyborg. I'm just saying you have a good
But
there.
you got a quarterback.
Yeah, you
So
got
look, what?
You got to
So what?
fix it though.
So
you
what's
do, you do, but at
You
least
got to
that
fix it.
Atlanta don't have no quarterback.
Yeah, they got nobody, man.
Nah, I don't have nothing.
Exactly. I mean, and then they have the other
Couple
boys.
skill. They got a couple skill position guys,
They got
right? Tight end.
yeah,
You got Pitts, right?
but you know what? Atlanta would be the team that I would try to trade, or you may be able to get something because they don't have no direction.
Hey man, Fields out
Yeah,
there.
man, you can probably get Pitts.
Yeah,
Probably can get
Yeah,
Pitts
true.
from Atlanta.
You could.
You probably can get. Ooh, boy, Lamar like to do one. You probably can get Pitts from Atlanta. Oof, I don't know too many more. Now they got a left tackle you might be able to get they gonna go for a rebuild because I think they gotta go for a rebuild to really get anything. Um,
Hey, what's that other back that they got with Bijan? Is he been in the league for a
Algier,
while?
I'm not
nah,
I know who you're talking about.
Algier,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Algier.
yeah, Algier.
He,
Yeah, has he been in the league
he,
for a while?
he,
Or?
he
Nah,
going
he's
in
a
the
rookie.
third year.
He's a third year player. I thought he was a
Yeah,
second year. I thought he
Yeah,
got.
I
yeah.
like the
But
way
I'm
he runs
saying
though,
he
man.
going
there's a
into this
running
season would be his third
Oh,
year.
there's a
this next
running
Yeah,
back
season is his
three
third
Yeah,
year.
coming out in the draft. So I'll go young. Just give me a
yeah.
back.
I'm just saying, I like the way he run though, man. Like he's always going forward. You know, when you see
Oh,
him
I
run.
agree.
yeah. But that
There's a lot of
Yeah,
them
Yeah,
are.
but they didn't even use him right this year. Like they didn't
exactly.
even
That's
use
why I be
him right.
trying to take him from him. That's why I be trying to take him from the
Arthur
Falcons.
Smith ain't used none of them weapons right this year.
Nah, man,
Nah,
not at all. Hey, so I'm looking
hey,
at Demone Clark though. What do you think his best position is on the outside, like playing on the weak side, or trying to? The middle just don't seem like it's getting it at
I
all.
mean, last
give him a
when
coach.
he was in
Give him a coach.
LSU, he played the middle, and he just
Yeah,
Yeah,
seemed
he
give
like
played
him a
he played
coach.
Mike for Vander Esch last year.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I think
that's what I was
Jamal
thinking
Clark.
too.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
Give
though?
give him a coach.
Considering how confused he looked, I would probably put him on the weak side and go find you a middle linebacker that's a little bit more cerebral and smarter than him, and
Yep.
help him out.
Give him a coach.
I agree with the
Give him
coaching
a coach,
part,
and let's
but I
see what
also think I
you
would
have.
rather lessen his responsibilities and have somebody else that can handle that a little bit. Kind of like remember we had Jalen and then Vander Esch.
hmm
Vander Esch
hmm
called everything, and Jalen was just. I'd rather take responsibilities off of him, as far
Yeah.
as what they're having, because at times he's out of position. Let's get somebody that, even though I agree with the coaching, but also have some guy on the field to be like, hey, get him in his position, line him up, just to help him out.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to help him
Yeah.
out on a double
Because man, we seen it. I seen him in college, man. The way he
He
played,
don't look like
man,
the
it
same
just
player.
looked like it looked like a whole different person, a player. When you see him now, man, he just doesn't even look the same.
It look like he don't. It look like he hasn't gotten better. Like last year, with him finishing up last year, to me, I thought that he would be on there. Like there's not a lot of guys to me where their arrow is pointing up, whereas like
hmm
they're getting better. Like a lot of these guys to me are digressing. Like Sam Williams, to me he
hmm
digressed. Clark digressed. Bell, where I thought Bell would have been, coming to his own as safety, split time with Curry. He's put in a position to where he can't really be an effective player for the defense. One, yeah, I don't know what we got in him. And it's just a lot of like nobody's getting better on this defense, man. Like
I mean,
even
the
Micah
only
to a
person
certain
who
extent.
seemed to improve was Bland. as far as if you have
Yeah.
the overall group. He's the only
Well,
guy that seems to improve. But I agree. Look at all the young talent and the guys. It's just like
you don't see the development.
Yeah, no development. Or like Don said, you got a bunch of guys we drafted. It's like if you scout them and draft them, you're not even playing.
Yeah, that's hard on.
Bland probably got the best coach on defense though.
But that's what I said. I think Al Harris is actually the best position coach.
I would agree. Yeah, for sure.
All right, fellas. What? Oh, damn. This was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, 10-10.
Well, go
Baltimore
ahead.
better do something. They better do something.
Hey, if Houston go to the conference game.
Oh, man.
Oh, you know how embarrassing that is?
Hire your black coach.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Hey, what you say, Brian? Certain jobs is for certain people.
Yeah,
true.
Houston was the one. Yeah, Houston was that job for a while, but it looked like they got the right guy. But D'Amico Ryan was an up and coming coach anyway.
But
though.
you know what?
He's a Texan through and through, so he's been a part of that
But
organization
the
already.
only thing is, I'm gonna wait. This is not towards D'Amico Ryan, because the Houston Texans always seem like they look promising, and the ownership does something young.
Yeah, and to me too. Also, D'Amico Ryan, he had a plan. He brought in Bobby Slowik, from San Fran. Now that's the thing about it is now if Slowik gets a job, now who you gonna bring in as your OC?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But I mean, he had to me it looks like he had a plan, and I like the move that they made in the draft when he drafted CJ and then turned right back around and went at Anderson.
Got to do Will Anderson.
You got your cornerstone pieces. You got your
both sides.
you got your quarterback and you got your big
and
time.
he turned around and got what's the linebacker from Alabama?
48.
Yeah, what is his name? Christian. Is it Christian?
Christian
I forgot his
Anderson.
last name.
I think it's Christian Anderson. He balling. He balling. I don't know his name Christian something, but he balling.
It is Christian.
48.
Yeah,
48. He balling.
Will Anderson.
No.
Will
so
Anderson.
He got Will Anderson, right? But then last year, I think that's when he got Christian. I won't say it's Christian Miller, but I don't think that's it.
I don't know what it is, but he done made a few plays in this game.
He got me and D boy Juicy in the second. I was happy to see my man get that.
Then he got the deep
Christian
wide
Harris.
receiver
That's his
from
name.
Houston. Harris, he got the wide receiver from Houston that's hurt right now. But I mean, they put together a nice team, man. And he had a decent offensive line. You had Laramie Tunsil. The run game hasn't been where I thought it would be this year.
But they run the ball regardless. Devin Singletary have a good year, but he get the ball. You get time to get touches.
See, that's what I mean, man.
You
don't have to,
team, man.
You don't have to have a flashiest running back. You got to just be able to run it.
The funny thing about this, they had picks. We got 6 draft picks.
Yeah,
but that's why sometimes
trade quarterback and trade the linebacker.
Yeah, you got to trade players earlier than waiting for comp picks.
Yeah, true. You're right.
Year he had before he came, they should have traded him then when his value was high. Same thing with other players, Dalton Schultz. Just certain players you trade. I don't care if you get a 4th or a 5th back. You can pair those with other picks. More picks you have, the better you can do.
Yeah.
And so now we're sitting here and we got to wait. Then you waste a 4th round pick on a quarterback who's talented, but you don't know how the timeline is because his timeline is the same timeline you have with your starter.
Yeah, that's kind of a little puzzling right there when you look at it from that perspective.
I mean, I like that until Steve told me how many years he had. I was like, what? And it didn't make any sense to me because now you have him paired with your starter. And it's just like you could have that 4th. You could have used that on something else.
Anybody feel some kind of way about the video of him throwing to Terrence Williams?
I saw that.
Kind of set up? Does that seem kind of set up by the organization to you?
No, I don't.
It's kind of weird, man. But it was kind of weird, man.
I think that's more set up by content creators. I mean, that's just
but all of a sudden, you're in a throwing session, and then the person that you throwing to is a body catching Terrence Williams. Like I just
It's
it
not
was
like
just the timing of it was weird.
It's not like Terrence is out there working, and he's a Texas.
Yeah, but how you get in contact with Terrence Williams out of all people that
exactly.
you're trying to throw the ball to? A former Cowboy at
He's an
that.
ex-Cowboy. I'm quite sure he get in contact.
Yeah, but
No,
like
I
you
think
just pull
Terrence
up.
It's just
Terrence.
weird. It's just weird, man.
I think it's
Yeah,
weird only fellas. I think it's only weird because of the social media aspect of it. And guys have
Yeah, I think.
go ahead, Reed.
No, I was saying Terrence Williams is from Texas. He a Texas guy. He went to Baylor. Then he played for the
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Yeah, he did. He did.
he's got a call. I mean, it's easy to the call. You know, I just think the kids just putting in work, but I don't think that has anything to do with the organization. I mean, he's just working.
he putting in work, man. And then I mean, then you got a guy that really couldn't. I mean, Mike McCarthy has shown the knack to develop quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
but you gave him a
Yep.
fourth-round pick for this guy. So what are you going to do? You going to extend your quarterback 2 years and re-sign him? I mean, because he's a first round pick, so don't you have to take it? Don't you have to? What you gonna have to do? You can't. You gonna take the 5th-year option? What are
I
you gonna
mean,
do?
but that's a Jerry move. That's once again,
Uh,
that's a Jerry move. I
Yeah,
mean,
but now you put
I think
yourself in a position where you're gonna have to. You got to make a move though. You got to take that
that's why I
fifth
won't.
year
no,
where you got to pay it.
I agree because it's kind of like it's fifth option. I think it's 15 or 18 million. And so if you do that,
Dang, bro.
You got 65 million tied on the quarterback. What you
Right.
gonna do, bro?
yeah, you're
Right.
gonna be paying your quarterback. The only thing they can do is they can extend him. But then again, it's just like
You're gonna have to make a decision though.
right. The
You
thing
gonna eat,
with him
eat
is you
some
don't
dead money?
right. The thing is with him is you don't know what you have. He hasn't played. You see the physical tools, but he still will have to play.
Hey, and he's gonna be playing the preseason against dudes that probably ain't even gonna be playing the NFL because
And
you're gonna give him a lot of snaps.
But even
Man, all he got to do.
you would rather have him where it's like you have him under 4 years, you play him the preseason, and then next year you can ratchet up his development. Kind of
Right.
like, even though I know these are two different. Remember when he had Romo? They played.
Yep.
They didn't play him. They gave him 3 years. And Trey Lance only played a year in college, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like he has a lot of experience, and he needs
He
a
played
lot.
on a year in high school.
Yeah,
You need
he
He
has
didn't
reps.
play
two,
that
so
much in
that's
high
2
school.
years,
You
Yeah.
need reps.
and he needs reps. But like Brian said, what are you gonna do? You're gonna extend. He's a first round pick. It's not like you got him in the 4th round, so his 5th option is
Yeah.
heavy.
Kind of
That was
stuck, man.
I like quarterbacks, but I thought we had him like I thought he had more years. Once I found out that, I was like, nah, that's just not a good move.
Because he got hurt his first year.
Right.
Right.
Then I think he was a backup last year, and then Purdy took over. He was a backup a year before. Because I think this is he's in going into year 4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say. So that would be 3
Yeah,
years. So yeah,
he's
this
going to year
this would be year
4. Yeah,
4.
so
He started.
his first 3.
He started off the
Jeez.
season. He started off the season last year because Jimmy G got hurt before week 1. So he started the first 3 games and then he tore his ACL after the 3rd game.
Yeah. So
But this was
I
his
mean,
3rd year this year, so you only got him literally for like 1 year,
yeah,
or you got to decide to get that 5th year.
right.
yeah.
Man,
So, but
it's
all
bad
they're
business,
gonna take
man.
it for.
Yeah, it was
All they're gonna take it for.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
bad business move
Bad business, man.
unless you thought he was a guy you was gonna move forward with.
They tried. You tried to get leverage. You lost your confidence in your quarterback.
Yeah,
So you
but
tried to get a
the
little
leverage
leverage.
part would have been better
But be smart,
if
man.
they were going to leverage. It would have been better if they would have got
Just draft one.
last year. You take a 2nd
Yeah.
round pick last year, that would have been a quarterback. Then you have leverage because now you got this guy for 4 years. That'd be completely different. Then if you decided you want to extend Prescott, say you throw a voidable year on what he has now, you're basically just telling them that last year is voidable.
Dude, if I'm him, I'm laughing at the organization because I'm like, you do realize this dude only got 1 more year on his contract, right? So like, what am I supposed to do? Like, really, what are they gonna do with him? They ain't gonna turn their back on him, man. They're gonna extend him. He's getting extended no matter what. He got all the leverage, all of it.
Unless the only way they don't do that, unless they decide they want to roll with Trey Lance.
He's getting extended,
Ah,
man.
No,
They're not gonna do that.
No, I'm
He's
not
getting
denying
extended.
that. No, I'm not denying it. I believe they're going to extend him.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't extend him, that would be somewhere it's like, okay, they really are doing something different. But
Yeah, it'd be a philosophical change in the organization if they decide to do that, which you
don't
know how it
extend it,
is,
please.
man.
I know.
Please don't extend it. Don't extend it. Don't even extend it. Don't ride with that $60 million on the book. Don't extend it.
Hey, man,
Don't extend it.
that's
Walk off away
we
from it.
we talking about Jerry though.
That what the fans want him to do, so just go and get rid of him. That what CD Mom wanted him to do. So just go and get rid of him.
Steve Mama ain't no football person, man. Those are
No,
They
man, she's
go,
speaking off emotion,
don't
man.
matter,
they
man.
go, they go, they go and go and let him go, walk away from him. Then soon as he goes somewhere else and get picked up and end up in a divisional round and then end up in the NFC championship or AFC championship, then everybody gonna be playing.
Well, hold on. It depends on where he get picked up at.
Shit.
Yeah.
I tell you what, did what I do. Did what I do right now. If I'm the Cowboy, I call Miami.
Hold on. I have one question. Are you talking from Brian GM or you talking from Brian, the president of the fan club with Dak Prescott?
I'm talking from a GM perspective. I'll
Okay.
pick up the phone right now and I'll call Miami and I'll say, I'll give you Dak Prescott for tour.
What?
Go. Yep. I give you Dak Prescott. I give you Dak
What?
Prescott for tour.
You ain't talking.
Yeah.
You ain't talking
You
Brian.
that's a left-handed. That's a
Hey,
left-handed.
look, man, I'll
back.
give you.
I give you.
I'll
I
give
give you.
you.
I give you. Look,
Left-handed Dak.
even trade. I don't even want
You know
even
what?
trade.
I'm about to kick
Even
you off.
trade.
For you to say
Even trade right now.
ridiculous.
You trade right-hand Dak for left-hand Dak.
He been Brian, the president of the Dak Prescott fan club.
Nah, but no, I honestly though, bro, honestly I think Dak has been a model cowboy, but I really think it's kind of turning into Matthew Stafford in Detroit. Like he's playing his butt off, but the organization is not trying to help him win. The organization is not doing what it takes to build a championship team, and they just
Well, you know what?
they wasting years, man. You wasting
I
years.
don't want to say organization. I want to say owner.
Yeah.
It's still the
Well,
owner.
yeah.
It's the owner. I
Um,
mean, I know people
yeah.
get on Steven, but Steven wanted Zach Martin, not Johnny Manziel. So Jerry did.
Yeah.
And what did Jerry
Yeah.
say? He didn't say he will help us win. He said he'll help us keep relevant. That's Jerry's
Man.
thing.
But
Relevant.
maybe that was the move. Maybe that was the move that needed to see. Maybe Jerry was forecasting getting Johnny Manziel and maybe being in that number one draft pick position so that you can get a number one overall quarterback. Maybe Jay should have let Jerry draft Johnny Manziel. Maybe Johnny Manziel was the reset guy that we passed on.
Nah, bro.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you being serious?
Maybe he was the reset guy. Yeah, I'm being serious.
Nah,
I'm
bro.
being serious
Nah.
right now. Maybe Johnny
Boy, if
Manziel was the
Johnny
reset guy that we
Manziel went to
passed on.
Dallas, that
Johnny
Maybe he
man
was the
Manziel-
reset guy that we passed on.
Johnny Manziel
Yeah.
in Dallas would have been a disaster story.
Yeah, dude, that would have been
That's
like
what we need. That's what
that
we
would've
need.
been-
We need a
that would have
disaster.
been like QC coming back, man.
Johnny
He
He
Manziel
couldn't handle the
started
pressure.
in Cleveland.
He couldn't
Imagine
handle
what
the
he do
pressure,
in
man.
Dallas.
No,
He couldn't handle the
We need
pressure,
Johnny-
man.
no, you
Johnny Manziel.
you're acting like a Russian spy. Sitting.
Johnny Manziel would have showed up
Dude,
to the
double
press
agent.
conference drunk.
Oh, you're being ridiculous now.
You being a double agent right
Johnny
now.
Manziel showed up to the press conference drunk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wouldn't have lasted long.
You know what
He would have lasted
we
long.
needed to find out what John Gruden had on those faxes, them emails, and find out what owners had did something wrong. We need a new owner. And that's not going to change. And I agree with John.
Yeah.
Man,
But you know what's
take
name hate him,
Charlotte at
so
this point.
What'd you say, D?
I said I'll take Charlotte at this point.
yeah, I take Charlotte. I really just I'll take John Stevens. Give me John Stevens at the owner.
Man, you never hear from him. Never hear
Give me
from him.
John Stevens.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the son. I'm talking about
all
Stevens'
the
son.
owners in the league. He's the owner for what team?
Who?
John Stevens.
Who's that?
You say
My
you
bad.
want
John Stevens is Stevens'
No,
son.
Steven's son. Yeah.
I just had a DoorDash. My bad.
Oh.
John
No.
Stevens, the one that's
No.
at Arkansas.
I don't
The one that was at
I
Arkansas.
don't want any Joneses. I just want somebody else to come along who loves football but just stays out the way. That's all I want.
I don't think no owner really truly stays out of the way. I
Well,
just think
I think there
they
are
owners, you got owners that
I think there
respect
are
their coach.
owners who think about owning the team and bringing the revenue
Yeah,
to the team,
yeah.
of course. But I
Mhm.
don't. It's put it this way: when Mike Tomlin got extended and people were asking him all these questions, the owner didn't do anything like this. Well, we got to think about it. Maybe, we got a lot of guys on the team that can coach the team. They extended him. He said he's my guy. He said
his owner, yeah.
he said he's my guy and he's getting an extension. And he left it at that. Jerry always does this. I don't know. Maybe we got.
Yep, for
But
drama.
that keeps Jared. That keeps him relevant. That keeps the Cowboys in the
But that's
mood,
what I'm talking about.
and that's the
Right.
problem.
Interfering with stuff. Dude, what are we? $4 billion? We're worth $4 billion. Why don't you just
Probably.
do that?
Yeah.
Like we don't need Prescott. That's more distracting for the coach.
Well,
now he has to
right.
deal with that all week instead of just dealing with football. That's like what you said, Don. Why do the media talk to this dude? He doesn't know anything about football.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
To him. And he always had these
Yeah.
cornball answers of stuff that he has no idea what he's talking about.
Because they scared to lose their job. They scared to lose their job.
They ask that man in-game strategy questions, and he tries to answer it. And they sit there and listen to him, too. I was like, man, stop, man. Stop, man. Don't do that man like that. Do not do that man like that. But the thing is, so he doesn't stay out of the spotlight, and that dude undermines coach. Because, like, if you think about it, they asked Jerry, they said, Jerry, like, if you don't win today, what's the end of the season going to be like? He said, well, I'll have a discussion with the team, and I'll dismiss the team. And then from there, everybody goes their separate ways. I'm thinking to myself, like, why does the owner talk to the team and dismiss the team? I've never heard of that. It's a coach's responsibility.
So if you're a coach and you're trying to enforce things, players will be thinking, I really don't have to listen to you. I got to whatever Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So you're not empowering your coach. Your coach has no empowerment. There's no moves he can do, and that is a major thing. Your head coach, you're constantly.
There's a flaw, bro. There's a big time flaw in your organization.
Yeah, because at the end of pretty much, even Robert Kraft, well, he went one time. He went Jerry when he kept Tommy around too long. He will stay out of it. Bill is the one answering the football questions. Every other place, even when teams fire that coach at the end is the guy asking all the questions, everything, and it's moved on. Jerry's the only sports owner that has a weekly talk show.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
What?
For what? We don't even need to hear from you.
Yeah, we don't need to hear from you. Just own the team.
Well, hey, to further compound it, you got Jerry, and then Steven has a show every week. That's even worse.
Which makes me always look and say, I don't necessarily know if it'll be as good or bad, or is this something he picking up from his father? Because I can't judge it entirely until his father's gone.
Then it's hard to say. Yeah.
What is he doing this with his dad? I don't know. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised. But I have to give fairness and say maybe he run it differently if his father isn't around. Maybe he'll be a guy that will just kind of
have a team.
I don't know.
But you have a team full of guys making $5 million a year.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
If they made $5 million a year and won a championship, would you care?
But no, they're not though, because that dude's just gonna try to get a bargain basement deal. He's just gonna
have an old ass team.
But hold on. What if he did lead the team and he didn't re-sign Michael Gallup and didn't extend Jalen Smith and certain guys? I would be okay with that.
I'd be okay with the team.
I would.
See, the only problem I have with Steven is stop telling me about the contracts. I don't need to know that. That should be behind.
But you signed a linebacker that was on 1 foot rather than signing your quarterback who would have took less money at the time.
I have an answer for that one though, and I'm not saying it's the right answer. You ever notice, guys? We always sign the stories. Jalen Smith had a great story. I'm not saying that I can't.
Yeah.
But that's that
Yeah, he did.
brand. The ex-Notre Dame guy came all the way. You also remember this? When they signed him, they also made the announcement for his new set of glasses in the same press conference. So
Clear our view.
a crazy announcement and an extension in the same press conference.
Everybody get into them glasses.
Yeah, the glasses that he was doing, how they made that a business announcement. I just care about football players. I don't care about the story. The story will bring itself out there.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll bring itself once you win. But they're more used to that type of stuff. They always do that, and they always sign the
Brock
deals.
Purdy. Cough. Brock Purdy.
What about Brock Purdy?
What about Brock Purdy?
Nah, that's the example. Like the story will come by itself.
Yeah, it'll come by itself.
Oh yeah.
Once
Yeah.
you start to win the games, you win football games. That like Wanye's story. I didn't even know about his story until they started to play him more, and then I found out about his story. That stuff will come on his own. The brand will come on his own. Like win games, win championships. But we stuck with what we stuck with because of ownership. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna change with owners. We've had great coaches, we've had very good ones, we've had bad ones, but it all ends the same.
Yep.
And until that changes,
Pretty much.
I don't think anything's gonna change. And I'm not wishing anything on Jerry, but that's the one constant.
Yeah, you ain't wishing nothing on him, but we need to speed up. Whatever it is you talking about, I don't know what you talking about, but whatever it is you talking about, you need to speed up.
I agree with
I
Reed.
do.
If you was gonna bring McCarthy back, you extend him because you got him as set up as a lame duck coach. And you don't need
Then what
to have
coordinator? What coordinator? What if you want to get a young DC? What young DC want to come in
Yeah.
under McCarthy?
Oh, but-
and they don't even know
Hey,
if he's
Reese.
gonna have a job.
Well, I used to think about that. Yeah, I used to think about that too. But think about it though. If you come to the Cowboys and work as a coordinator, you don't work for the coach, bro. You work for Jerry. Because Jerry will tell the next coach, you taking him. He ain't gonna fire you if you're good. That dude gonna make you stay around, and he gonna make the next coach take you as part of his staff.
You're absolutely right. And then who wants to do that? You don't want to inherit.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man.
I don't care. It doesn't even matter if the guy is good. That's still maybe not a philosophy standpoint, a trust standpoint. You want at least a guy that's your right hand man. You don't want to come in. I gotta deal with a dude I ain't never dealt with before.
Well, hey, just think about the coach, man, that get carried. Like, okay, JG, right? You sitting there looking at Wade or whoever else, man, and you like, seriously, dude, like I report to the owner. I don't even report to you. Exactly. We know how it is on the job, bro. We seen it happen like that on the job, where the organization is like, you see the dude that brought you in, and somebody trying to talk to you and tell you what to do. You like, whatever, man.
Yeah, and I've been
in this situation.
I was brought in by somebody much more higher, and you're right. I was sitting like, I don't need to listen to you guys.
Exactly.
Way up. So yeah, it creates, unless that person can handle it, but it shouldn't be handled that way anyway. That head coach should have his own people. If he decides he wants to keep someone over carryover, that's cool. But it shouldn't be forced upon that person. And the Kellen was a
here it's gonna be forced on you if they like you.
Exactly.
If they like you, you're gonna get whoever the next coach is, that's gonna be your guy. And Jerry gonna make sure he picks a head coach there that won't be like push back on him, push back and all. He'll get somebody like a McCarthy situation who was like, hey, just happy to have a job. It's like, okay, yeah, by the way, he's part of your staff too. And they're like, okay. No, they ain't gonna push back at all, man. Versus like Parcells and Belichick. They're like, no, I'm not taking him.
Yep, Parcells. It was just the only person he kept was Zimmerman, and that was only because he ran the 4-3 the next year. Zimmerman,
but it changed it, right? Yeah,
he got the 3-4 because he knew he didn't have the personnel he needed, so he kept him as a carryover.
And the thing is, that dude, Mike Zimmer was a 4-3 DC.
Yep.
But Parcells told that dude, he was like, yeah, next year you running the 3-4. What did that dude do? He ran it. He learned it. He learned it and coached the 3-4 the following year.
Yep.
So you knew that was Bill. That was all Bill right there.
That was all Bill. And Jerry has went on record saying that was the most miserable time as an owner. And
of course.
Yeah, because he didn't have no power. He didn't have no
none.
Bill was the only person that talked. The assistant coaches couldn't talk. Nobody could talk in press conference. The only person who could talk was Bill Parcells. And the only reason he hired him is because we was building a new stadium.
See what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna make that mistake again, bro.
Nah.
That's if he want the spotlight. He ain't gonna do that.
I asked Rich Gossett. I said, Do you think he'll hire Bill Belichick? He said that just depends on how desperate he is. He was like, if Jerry's desperate, yeah. He was
He
like,
ain't desperate, bro.
but he said he's not going to eat the money to fire McCarthy and then pay Belichick. He said he's not.
That's another thing.
He only
It's
spent
1 year.
$4 million. Man, you got college coaches making more money than McCarthy, man.
I don't know what
Yeah.
McCarthy makes though.
Man, he can't be making.
Oh,
Look,
really?
man, let's be honest. That dude Quinn probably makes more money than McCarthy.
But here's the thing though, if he
He
fires
can't be making
him,
that much.
well, but if he fires him, fellas, he's gonna fire every. You think Belichick gonna come in and take these dudes as whole staff right now?
Nah, man.
Right, so he has to eat all of that. He has to eat all of that, and
That's a lot to eat.
You're gonna have to pay.
And that's a
bills,
drop in the
and you're
bucket
gonna
for
pay
Jerry.
his staff.
Yeah, it really
That's
is
a
for
drop in the
Jerry.
bucket for Jerry. That's a drop in the bucket for Jerry, bro.
No, it's a drop in the bucket for you because that's the way you think, and I agree with you. But for a person who is driven by money, what do rich people want more, Brian? They just want more money. They don't spend more money. They want more money. Jerry just wants money. I don't think he's driven to win football. I really don't. I used to think that, but I've come to the conclusion that he's not. He's fine with the stadium selling out. He's fine with ratings, and he's fine with his sponsorship. If he really wanted to win, he would stay out of the way. He's been there when he won 2 Super Bowls. He knew it, but he wasn't the guy talking all the time until we started to have success in the second year. And what happened? You get liquored up and you run off the guy who won 2 Super Bowls back.
What you finna make? See, the worst thing that happened was when he won that when he won with Oklahoma had Bears whistle. When he won that jump went to his head. Even though he won with Jimmy Player, that went to his head. Man, he thought that he could do it his way. He's been trying that forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
And every year it changed.
Barry came in. That team is just no discipline.
But that team ran itself, though.
Yep, they ran itself. But that could only go
That
for so
team ran
long,
itself.
though. But that could only go for so long. You need to still bring in young players, draft, know what you're doing. When I heard the time they came out there, Irvin was so drunk he was throwing up, and Switzer just said, "All right, fellas, practice." Troy was hot as motherfucker. He said, "What are you doing?" So yeah. Any closing comments, gentlemen? Anything else to say?
We're fucked.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, bro.
Bro, we're in a bad place right now.
Yeah.
Give me that linebacker from Texas A&M.
Who? What number?
We'll do some drafting. Texas.
I can't think of his name right now. He a big linebacker.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You need to go in there? Yeah.
Is that your daughter?
Baby in the back.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Have a say.
You good, bro?
Have a say. Here we go. I heard you.
I ain't saying here we go. No, I'm still
Nah.
good.
He don't want to say it, man. That dude burnt.
Oh wow, you traumatized.
We got PTSD, man. You all right?
Okay,
No, I'm not good. I'm not good.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
They need to change their catchphrase next year.
Yeah, this is a therapy session. What's wrong?
Oh, you about to just to feel like it's some turmoil in the locker room. It's just next year could get very dark for us.
CD gonna have to handle this real quick, man. He need to go ahead on and
you
come
made
out.
the thing with his mom.
Yeah, he need.
He need to do something about that, man.
Him and Michael, they need to clean it up and tell their people to stay off of social media. Don't comment about my job. That would be what I would tell them.
Yeah, something need to be said though, for real, man.
People say that. He said, "Keep your family out of football matters. They don't matter."
He got to show me something too, man. If they bring him back, man, that dude got to show me something, man.
I have a question. So, say if we start 3-4, you stay with the quarterback? Or you switch?
No.
3-4. Do I change quarterback?
quarterback?
No, I think you still got to stick with him, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it depends on like What you see out of
Depending on
Lawrence
what
in
the 3 and 4
preseason?
look like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's say it's 3-4 and Prescott's playing like he did in the last playoff game, and he's played like.
Oh yeah, brother.
Do you switch?
I switch.
If you 3 and 4, no.
You play it
Now,
out.
if you won,
Not playing good.
if you 1-3 out of the first month, yeah. If you 3 and 4, nah.
But it's no 3 and 4 after 7. So you 3 and 4 after 7 games. You said right?
Well, see,
Or
the
you saying like
only reason I'm saying 3 and 4 is you still in a position maybe to turn it around, but maybe things don't look good because you got.
Yeah, I think even with that, though, you're right. I guess you do have to like play that out a little bit.
So
I got to at least get past the halfway mark. So I would at least have to get past the halfway mark of the season first.
Aren't you there? That was 7 games.
Almost, but I mean, I still want to get to a point where because that can easily be turned around, right? Like I go on a run and I can win the next 3, and I'll be 6 and 4.
That's true, but what about if the quarterback play is not good?
I'm thinking, man, with the way the quarterback plays,
one at a time.
But I'm saying, man, from what I've seen from him in the regular season, I think he'll figure that out. Like I think that'll work his way out. I'm not worried about that.
That's cool. I'm glad you one of his biggest critics. I love you.
Yeah, now I'll give him that. He played well in the regular season, so I'm not gonna say if we 3 and 4 and he's struggling. I think he can work his way out of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him work his way out of that too.
Okay, right.
I mean, we 3 and 4. Yeah, we gonna see what happens. But it
okay.
If you start out 1 and 4, then you might well gonna hit on it and Russell Wilson. You know, you might well go ahead and sit him down. You know, because
but you can turn that around at 1 and 4 too, though.
No, not 1 and 4.
I don't understand the difference.
At 1 and 4, 3 and 4, you can turn around. 3 and 4, you can turn around. But if you start out 1 and 4,
he can rattle off 4 wins for you, though, man. He can rattle off 4 or 5 wins for you.
Who we playing?
That's another thing too.
The Giants.
Well, they in your division, though. You gonna have them.
With this, Don. I would say this: not with this first place schedule coming up, because you got to play the AFC North, and you
but we don't. But we don't know how those teams are going to look next year.
Yeah, you really don't.
I agree with you with somebody like the Ravens. They're constant. But a lot of them other teams, you really just don't know how they're going to look.
I mean, Pittsburgh are constant when they had never won 10 games.
Yeah, but they also look beatable at
times. Didn't Green Bay look beatable?
they did. But I'm just saying, you just don't know how anything is going to be. Things change year by year. So I don't ever go with that. I mean, you can. I don't go by any of that. I've seen last place schedules turn around, and then all the teams are much harder to beat than what you thought. And then first place schedule, then you find out it's not as tough as you thought it was going to be.
What type of schedule the Eagles had?
They had first place. They had a first place. Yeah, they won last year, so they had first place schedule.
But yeah, they lost what 5 or 6.
They did,
and they played some of the worst teams in the league.
Exactly, and got their ass
down the stretch.
So
yeah,
you just got to let the schedule play itself out.
That shit don't matter. And then with the Cowboys here, you can have last place schedule. Teams gonna get up to play you regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the word D like to say, everybody gonna have some pride. You know, some people are gonna play with a lot of because the Giants played with pride that last game, and the Eagles basically just rolled over. And the Giants act like they was playing for this game.
Yeah, but you know what? Now that you think about it, though, too, is this team? Last year they seemed to fix that, but sometimes they play down to the competition. It's like, man,
on that too.
They played better last year, though, so they did take advantage of some of the teams they played.
Competition either.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's bad in and of itself.
I mean, last year I thought at times but it depends on who you're talking about up for. I mean, San Francisco has been a hard mountain for them.
Yeah, that's big.
I remember the games
that's Mount Everest, boy. That's what that is.
Mount Everest for them, but I remember they was coming off a loss and they had to play the Vikings. They played one of their best games last year. Like they did. Very inconsistent at times, but there are times like even though they didn't win the Miami game, they played one of their better games defensively.
And I still ain't seen that wheel around Tony Pollard yet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because they don't have it, man. It's not in the playbook.
Not
I
consistent.
still ain't seen that play. I still ain't seen that play run again yet.
Nope. But they get
Damn
teams run
shame.
stuff against them. A team will run
That's
the
a
wheel
damn
route in a
shame.
minute on them.
And then they can't defend it because they don't they don't run it themselves. So that's the thing. Like screens. We can't run screens, but we can't defend them either.
Nah,
Yeah, we
not
can't
at all.
catch a damn screen. Shit.
Well, that's why I said we can't run it. We can't run it.
Y'all
Yeah,
talking
because
about
they
Tony Pollard being the damn receiver. His ass couldn't catch nothing this year.
Yeah, but then again, man, did they even give him? Did they give a chance though, man?
Nah, I don't
He
think
had
They
so.
didn't
one
put.
game. He had one game where he caught about seven passes out of the backfield, and
Well,
that went
hey,
away too.
there you go. That's what it. So
That went
they
away
should have
too.
stuck with
Like,
it, man.
So wait a minute, I have a question. You guys want a free agent running back, or you want a one that's drafted?
I
Both.
want both. I want both.
So I'm gonna throw a name out there.
I know where you're going.
nope,
You don't know what,
I don't know, bro.
nope,
Sound like Eddie George to me.
nope,
hold on.
nope.
Who do you think I was gonna say?
Go ahead.
Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henry.
No,
Derrick Henry.
actually, I was gonna talk about the guy from the Giants.
Oh,
Oh hell yeah,
Saquon.
yeah, most definitely,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
take
Oh
it.
yeah, break him, break. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. But he
Actually,
gonna
as
have to
quiet
take
as it's
about
kept, that's what I've
12.
been telling. That's what I've been telling people. Like, I think Saquon gonna be the next running back.
Yeah.
I mean,
He gonna have to take a fish sandwich
he's a
about
free
$12.
agent. I think he still got juice. If you're going to
Oh
go
yeah,
out,
I'll take him.
Lamar Jackson just scored 17-10 Baltimore.
okay, let's go Ravens. I don't want to
There
be
we go.
wrong.
Running back Lamar.
Running back Lamar.
How did he
Yeah.
score? Reed? He ran it.
He ran that joint in.
There you
There
go.
you go. The QB key.
He went 4
They'll
for
make it
4
to
for the
Super
drive.
Bowl.
He went 4 for 4 on the drive for 47 yards. So he was quarterbacking too.
All right, who's the
He
best?
threw it. Who he threw it to 4?
What'd you say, John?
No, I was looking at something. I was about to ask something else. I got thrown off track. Bobby Wagner. Would you guys be willing to bring him in, or is he too old?
Yeah, yeah,
No, I'm all for it, man. Bring him in.
yeah.
I'm just trying to throw some guys out if you were going to try to fix something and you was going to bring certain free agents. Daniel Hunter, defensive end for the Vikings. I know Reef mentioned him earlier.
Yep,
On
bring him in.
a 1 year deal, not a long-term deal.
I'll be cool with a 2-year deal. How old is he?
He's 30. He's about to turn 30.
I'll throw a 2-year in to make it more enticing for him.
What's the big DJ Reader? Bring me DJ Reader and cut Hankins.
And then what's the Ravens D tackle Matabuki or whatever the
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'll be good with that.
I would be
I'll
cool.
definitely be good with that.
Would you trade Michael Parsons to the Raiders?
for 2 first-round
To the
picks and Max
Raiders?
Crosby.
Yeah. Give me Max Crosby. I'll do that.
I'll do it straight up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Give me Max straight up.
I tell you what. I got a better. I'll trade Michael Parsons and Mike McCarthy for Max Crosby and Antonio Pierce.
Man, what you talking about? I'll take Pierce in a heartbeat.
I don't know about
Now
that
you
one
know,
just
Ryan. Now
yet.
you know
He ain't
Jerry ain't gonna have
proven
no
enough
black
for me.
man.
Dude,
Jerry
all I
ain't
need
got no black man
is a head coach. That's it. I can get
No,
coordinated.
hold on. If I'm gonna do that, I'd rather go after Todd Boyle.
Go who?
Todd. I'd rather go for Tampa's head coach. Antonio
Oh,
Pierce,
Todd Bowles.
yeah, he ain't known.
Todd Bowles had his shot. You remember Todd Bowles in
I know that, but I don't want to go
New
with
York.
Todd.
Yeah.
I need somebody.
But he's coaching Tampa Bay right now. And he's won a
Exactly.
playoff game.
Man, they played a team that
It don't
they played a
matter.
team.
They won.
They played. Hold on, wait. Let me finish. They played a team that had quit on their head coach.
I have
Yeah, man.
I have 2 words. Baker Mayfield, and he's doing a good job. I have to give him. He's doing a good job now.
I have 3 letters in 1 word.
Go ahead.
NFC South.
So what? That ain't his fault.
With that, they beat the team from the NFC East.
Everybody on this podcast could have quarterback that team to the playoffs.
I don't know about that part. I ain't don't put myself out there and say that.
Nah, don't put me out there.
Right.
We go.
Did you see the conference? You had a conference with Baker Mayfield was the best quarterback in the NFC South.
I mean, I'm just giving him, but he still got something out of a guy that a
The
lot of
one,
people have.
2011, the Giants won 9 games, 10 games. Nobody else in the NFC East wasn't shit, and they went and won the Super
I
Bowl.
mean, I
So
like Todd. I like
They
Todd.
had they had a they had a better quarterback. The best quarterback in the
I don't
NFC.
know. They have a better
You
Baker,
talking
quarterback
about you talking
who
you talking about Eli
Eli
Manning?
Manning probably plays better in the playoffs, but I
man,
wouldn't
Yeah,
say
he
Eli
plays.
they
Manning
have a
had a
better
Eli
quarterback.
Manning had a Hall of Fame pass rush, bro.
Yeah,
That's what
but
got the
I mean, but
Giants to
Eli
the Super
they
did
Bowl.
his
still played
job.
in the NFC least that year.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, they did. You're right, they did. But that Giants pass rush, bro. I don't think another team probably ever had that many pass rushes ever, bro. Like you talking about, they had a package where they put in 4 defensive ends, and it was like, who you gonna pick to double? You double one, everybody else on your whole line getting whooped.
Yeah,
Like that was a
I'm not denying that, but I would rather dealing with this coach, this ownership, have somebody with some skins on the resume a little bit more than
yeah. I just like Pierce's mindset, man. Like
yeah. But the only thing though
he
is
reminds me of Tomlin.
no. But the only
He
thing with
reminds
that
me of
is
Tomlin.
I hope he's successful. But at the time that he was coaching them, they were playing. They had nothing to play for. Next year there's gonna be
Yeah,
expectations. There's a lot of other stuff.
yeah,
I,
but
I
to turn
always
them around,
I root for coaches, but I want to see it's gonna be different next year. It's gonna be expectations. It's just different then. Like right now, he just all right. They ain't
linebacker.
playing for nothing. But you know how it is in Dallas. That's a different thing. You're dealing with a different animal. So you're gonna have to have
And
somebody. I mean, you would have to have somebody with a little bit more skins on the wall. Somebody that has a little. Yeah. I don't know.
Roquan Smith that played the run play, it was just like poetry in motion. It
He
was
was a
just
guy I
like,
wanted to trade for, not a first
Bro,
round.
man, that
He
that
said
ain't even
not a
fair,
first
man. Talking
round
about
pick.
Roquan.
You
Not a
funny
first
as hell,
round. If
John.
it was a lower first round pick,
John don't want to trade a first round pick for nothing but a quarterback.
bro. I mean, or a pass rusher or a left tackle. I just don't like giving up picks because you don't know what's gonna happen next year in the draft.
if you put Roquan Smith, if you would have traded that number one, which would have been what, Mozzie Smith this year,
Yeah.
or would it have been Tyler Smith?
It'd have been Tyler Smith.
Okay,
Nah,
now
he got traded this offseason because Tremaine Edmonds just went to the Bears this offseason.
he got traded last. He got
He
traded
got
last
traded
season,
last
right?
year. He didn't get
He
traded
got
this year.
Yeah,
traded
yeah. He was,
last
he was
So
year.
there last
so
year.
that'd
He was
been
there last
so
year.
that'd have been Mozzie Smith. That'd have been Mozzie Smith. I'd have made that
No, no, no.
trade all
No,
day
it wasn't
long. It would
trade.
have been Mozzie Smith.
Hold up.
No,
It
Yeah,
was.
because
I thought he
he
was there
went
the
to the
year before.
Baltimore.
I thought he did
No, he
too.
went to the Baltimore Ravens. No, this is his first full year with the Baltimore Ravens.
He got traded in season last year, though.
He got
Like, not
traded
this
in
season.
season.
The season before.
He got traded in season
Yeah, that would
last
have been. You're
season.
right. You're right. Yeah, it would have been.
That'd have
It
been
would have been
Mozzie
Mozzie.
Smith.
Yep, it
I
would
would
have
have
been Mozzie.
traded. I would have made that trade if I would. If what I know now, hell, what I knew then, I would have made that trade.
I don't know about that.
You
I
would
would have
have had to
made that
pay.
trade.
About the problem with that, you would have to pay Roquan as well. Roquan, the highest paid middle linebacker in the league. So the Ravens traded for him, then they gave him a long term deal.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. I'm not saying Micah is a Roquan. I'm not saying that.
He's just a
But
different type.
you have a guy that if you put the proper coaching around him and he bought into it, he could be that type of middle linebacker for you, but then also
I don't
add
think so.
in,
I don't think
I
so.
said that type. I didn't say that level. That type of middle linebacker for you that can play the run on first and second down, that will help you with the run, but that can also you can convert into a pass rusher on third down, and you can
Nah,
bring those little ass linebackers you
but
want
what
to
I
bring
think
in
is, man,
and
they
you
just
want
need
to
to
play.
make him like Clay Matthews. Just play him just like you did Clay. Like you
Play
said,
good.
get you a big dude that plays defensive end, a Justin Smith type. Let him do that. He can't process. He loves to seek and destroy. Let him do that. Let him get freed up on running backs and tight ends, and get you a real
Well,
middle linebacker. I mean, there were plenty of them that came out in the draft this
I
year.
mean, I think Micah is a real middle linebacker. I just think
I
that they
don't
got
think he is.
fascinated with.
I
I
think
think he
I
is.
think
I
he's
think they
a
got
hybrid.
fascinated with the fact that he could rush the
I
passer,
think he's
and
more
they
of a
just fell in
hybrid.
love with that.
I think at one point I'll say this, his first year, I think if you had somebody that brought in and was really about making him a complete linebacker, I agree with you. I think right now,
That's all I'm saying. Bring in a coach.
but I think he's far gone from that now, which is fine if you decide to help him in a different way. I just think that's just my thought. Like, he can make me wrong, of course, but if you move him back there, then it's like, okay, who the best pass rusher next? Like, you
And
really
you only need to run. You only need him to rush on third down. Because here, you need somebody to get you to third and long.
I'm listen, B. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I'm saying you move him from that. I'm not putting him on the defensive line. I'm making him like I would rather make him like Aldale Smith when he was with San Fran. Make him that type of player.
Like a
Yeah, make him
okay.
like that, and then
Doing?
find you somebody to pair with him, and you just let him seek and destroy. But to put him back, I just think it takes away because he's the best pass rusher. It's like we literally have nobody else that can rush the passer. And I get what you're
I
saying
mean,
about the run part. That's why I would rather get me a 300-pound right defensive end and have him pay off. That's where I'm going to put him at. He's going to play on that side where that dude commands 2 double teams. And just let him do that. Then he can see things free. He can see the run better. He won't have to
Hey,
look at it.
do they need to switch it? Do they need to switch the scheme and go to a 3-4?
Yes. Make
I mean,
him
that's the thought.
Make him like Clay Matthews was, or make him like Aldale Smith. Stop putting him down there like he's a defensive end. He
Yeah,
can
they
be
need to
an
stop
edge
that.
rusher. He doesn't have to play on the line. Just make him like Clay Matthews. I mean, TJ Watt is similar to that. He'll play on the line now and then, but he plays off the line, and therefore he can see things better. I just think he has a processing problem. If you put him in the middle, he takes the cheese. If you put him on the edge, he doesn't play it well enough, and at times he get engulfed. Let him play off of somebody that will help him. Remember when we had, and I know this is a different player position, but remember we had Terrence Crawford? Crawford played that dirty work that DeMarcus Ware would get double-digit sacks because he was the dude doing all the dirty work. So what I want is a bigger version. Give me somebody 300 pounds, 295, some dude that sits there and say, I can take these double teams on, and you can go and do all the little lovely cleaning up that you want to or rush the pass. I just think they need to change the scheme. He's too small to be a traditional defensive end, and I don't think he's
Yeah.
smart enough to be a middle linebacker. Like he just takes the cheese too much. His processing is really bad. You can see it.
Yeah. He don't take the cheese worth down Clark.
He takes it bad too. That's why I said we need to go find a real middle linebacker with coaching. Because I think you need
Clark
both.
like
I think you
Clark like tight end in motion.
remember we had Roy Williams and we had good
That
coaching.
safety.
Right. But once
Yep.
Darren Woodson left, we still had good coaching.
He just wasn't the same, bro. He wasn't the same.
I still think you always need a dude on the field. You need somebody smart on the field to help them. Because some dudes, man, they just think that
Cooking, man.
Yeah, it just don't work for him, man. Some dudes just don't work for him unless they got somebody beside them.
And I know you played with some dudes, man, and you just sit there. Why is this dude? Some dudes can only do so much. Like it just, yeah, it is. But I say this: if you're really super special at it, we can get away with it.
That motherfucker getting cussed out. If you doing dumb shit on the field with team I played on, you doing dumb shit on the field, we cussing your ass out.
I think as a coach, sometimes you gotta realize who your player is. Like sometimes you gotta realize who that dude is. Twos are usually twos because they can't run a whole route tree. They don't know about out routes. That's why they call a 2. A 3 is a dude that can only do. I'm talking receiver. He can only do something that's a specialty. That's why he's a 3. Everybody ain't a 1, and everybody ain't a defense.
True.
Yeah, so it's the same thing on defense. Sometimes it's like Donovan Wilson. Somewhere else, somebody will make sure he's where would they make sure he at, Don? Right on the line. They won't put that dude in space. On the line, he's fine. But once you start putting him out in space, and then you got him with other dudes that can't play space, now you got bigger problems. But if we had
Yeah,
imagine if we had Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, Donovan Wilson would be fine. I still
Donovan
want to
Wilson would be
replace him.
playing.
No. I'm saying if you had the big nickel. So let's say you did the big nickel. Earl Thomas is taking over Hooker's spot, and Cam Chancellor is taking over. He's taking over Curse's spot. He will be less of a deficiency. He still will be a deficiency,
Oh
but it
yeah,
is glaring because he's playing with two other safeties who are even worse than him. He'll be playing with two greater safeties. I just think sometimes you got
yeah,
to accept a guy who he is. I do believe you do get better coaching, but I think you need better players. I just think you need somebody. Because remember how good Jalen Smith looked when he was paired with a young, healthy Van Der Esch? But once that guy got hurt,
yeah. Van Der Esch was at the wheel, which I think that's what Van Der Esch was. I think Van Der Esch was a better wheel than he was a Mike
but I
because
also
he
think
wasn't
I
physical.
think he was a smarter guy. I think he was the dude that was recognizing and diagnosing the plays.
Yeah.
Even though
Because you got people.
even though the
Yeah,
middle was traditionally the dude that do that, Van Der Esch was the dude
yeah,
calling stuff. I agree with you. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think, even
yeah,
though he's
yeah,
big, he isn't the physical type. He just
yeah.
looks the part. He doesn't play the part. But it
And you
helped.
got content. Yeah, you
Exactly.
got
But it
content
helped,
creators.
but it also helped Jalen. It would help
Yeah,
Jalen.
it did.
Like,
Yeah,
right.
it did.
So that's the
Yeah,
same
you
thing.
got content creators mad at LVE because he told Jalen you can't make every play on the field, and people don't understand from the linebacker position. There's certain plays that you just can't make because of where you line up at.
Exactly.
And it's like ain't nobody trying to tell you. Basically, what he's trying to tell you to do is slow down a little bit, bro. You can't make this. You can't run past me to make a
Exactly.
play
And you can
because if you
see,
run past me to make a play, you leaving a cutback lane.
right. And you see that, and the biggest thing we have is Van Der Esch physically can't hold up. So now we missing a guy that's in
Nah,
the middle that's smart, and you didn't go about trying to
yeah,
replace him with anybody. So
not at all.
that was the biggest thing last year. Even though I was like, I'm cool with re-signing him, I said y'all still need to get somebody young because this dude got chronic neck history, and you talking about
Yeah,
he playing linebacker. So that's they just didn't cover any of that. They just didn't cover any of that.
nah,
We got as much as we did last year with Anthony Barr and Van Der Esch. It was like at Israel, keep Israel. We saw that he was very healthy in the slot. Now you got to go out and get some real linebackers with some size that are healthy, and they didn't do that. Our linebackers were so
no,
bad this year, dude. I was like, go get Jalen Smith and Anthony Barr. That's how bad they
bro.
were.
What?
I like at least they got some size. Like, because we just ain't got no size. We was just outgunned physically, man. It was just bad.
Yeah.
We'll see whether or not we improve it or not. I don't know if we will or if we won't. But I'm like you, dog. I'm just gonna watch the games and just see
Yeah,
what
I'm
happens.
just, I don't have no expectation.
Yeah, but so the bad part about it is though, you had linebackers though, and you just cut
Yeah,
them. Like you
yeah.
had Devin Harper, and you just cut him.
And the thing down is, I thought he made a real good leap because I
I
looked at
did
it.
too.
He made a really good leap, and then I was like, y'all cut him, like
And he was
because
what, a fourth or fifth round pick.
the guy you should have cut because it's easier to bring him back would have been Jalen Brooks, the wide
Yeah.
receiver. I thought they were gonna cut him, or if you like his, just get rid of Nashawn. He ain't doing nothing. He's
Mhm.
literally just not doing anything for you. Cut him. But don't get rid of the dude who actually where you and then here's the thing too. If you were going to bring back, at least bring Luke back. So I thought I would have been fine with Luke and Devin Harper.
Yep.
I would have been
Yep.
fine with at least both of them dudes. But you just cut back a year. It was just like, okay, this makes no sense to me. I do.
I would have liked to have been in that meeting. All right, son. We just decided to go in another direction. I think you play linebacker too well, and we're not looking for that. We're looking for somebody a little bit smaller. And
But we trying to get you to the practice squad. That's what we trying to
I
do.
don't.
yeah,
It's
What?
like I just don't get it. Like I didn't get it. And then here's that I was like, we had Terrence Sweet and Darius Johnston. I've seen both of them in college. They both play linebacker, but they also both play edges. They both 265. So I was like, okay, they're gonna play them. They're gonna move them up, but they didn't. And so I didn't get it, man. I just didn't get
then
what
you bring then you bring in linebacker, and you put him and you have him playing cover two scheme.
And that
Evans,
ain't
you bring
his
in
strength.
Evans, and you don't even play him. Like
That
when you
ain't even
did
his
play him,
strength. That ain't even his.
no, it ain't.
If
Like
you
when
were
you
gonna do
did play
that,
him,
if you're in the undersized backers with coverage, you could have just kept Jabril Cox. Like if that was your
yeah,
thing when you wanted a backer who could cover, he
yeah.
was
I mean, like
230. He's 230.
in the yeah, but he could play. I mean, you ain't even give Jabril a shot after he tore his knee up. Now, granted, he went to Washington and ain't did nothing. Harper went
True,
to Boston, went to Cincinnati and ain't really did nothing. But
true.
I
But
mean, you got guys
with
that could
that,
have did something on your
right, at
team.
least with that, you at least see they're trying to go there. It just like you just said. They said,
It's just
yeah,
puzzling, man.
we're gonna take and then if you was gonna play a weak safety, you would think if you was gonna play a safety, wouldn't you play the biggest safety you have, who is 230?
You
I just didn't
you
get
would
it.
think, man.
Or what about Simmons, the guy that was from Arizona? He's a hybrid
Yeah.
dude, but he's a big safety. So
But did he didn't clear waivers though, did he? I don't think he cleared.
the
He went to
Giants traded. No, the
The
Giants
Giants
traded for him.
picked him up.
He's
Giants
Oh, okay.
traded
he's
for him.
just a
Yeah,
bigger, more athletic version of Kirk.
yeah.
And he can move. He can play
Simmons, you talking
linebacker.
about Simmons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were gonna do that, I would be like, all right, I get it. I get that you're trying to do this. But then I would have been like, okay, aren't you gonna play some really big dudes in the middle at least? Like you're gonna play some really big interior guy. I just didn't get the. I'm like you, man. I would love to be the fly on the wall to understand how did they just figure this was gonna.
Well, like
Yeah.
what the hell? Like you drafted freaking like you drafted Mozzie and you don't play him. Like what the hell? Like why did you draft him?
Yeah, I don't get it. I
Then
thought
allegedly he lost
all
weight.
the young guys we got this year, they would give them
He ain't
good
played none of
every week and just kind of ratchet things up as the season go along. Especially during the time we had that stretch against lesser teams, I was like, well, here's a chance where you make your move. This is where you make the change because then they can play against these teams by the end of the year. You hopefully they'll be better. We stayed with the same old slow undersized players. I just didn't get. And Mozzie only
them. Not
played because Hankins got hurt. It was like,
yeah,
True.
yeah.
yeah.
Then the rumors of him losing weight, and I
Yeah, that was bad too.
I don't I don't know how true that is
no,
though, because
that's why I said rumors. That's why I said rumors. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
Yeah.
Brian brought us to me like I Brian brought us before he got on G Bag. I was a huge fan of his.
I know
Brian brought us since he
he
been on
flames
G
a lot of
Bag.
rumors. He flames a lot of rumors. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I really think that he don't I think he don't pay attention to the guy that he's getting his information from
He's not getting it from
is the
nobody.
guy that they want you.
He not in the building. The
But
only guy that's in the
but I'm
building is
saying
John, the guy that's from the Atlantic. He's in the building. Brian's on the
Gelkin,
John
yeah, but he
No, you talking about John Machota.
Yeah, John
John
Machota, not
Massoda.
John Owen,
Okay,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
John Owen, John Machota. John
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Machota
Massoda.
in the building. He's literally
He is.
all these content creators. They get their stuff from Brian. Brian ain't in the building. He just
Yeah, and see he not in the building and Jeff Fisher. Like I mean Fisher. I
Mike
don't
Fisher.
listen to Fisher no
Mike
more
Fish.
either.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
started
Mike
listening
Mike
to
Fisher.
Fish,
Fisher's
man.
I don't listen
outside
to
the building. Said he's in the building. He's not in the building.
yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
listen to
stopped listening
Fisher
to
no
Fish,
more.
man, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fish has some
We keep up
he has some
controversy, man.
ulterior. Yeah, he keep up a lot of controversy
Because
because like when Dak first started.
they sources used to be Jason Garrett. Like Jason
Oh,
Garrett.
Yeah,
really?
see when Dak was first when Dak first got in the building, he coined the phrase Daccuracy and tried to make
Mm-hmm.
people think that Dak wasn't an accurate quarterback and stuff like that. And he just had
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
Fish
certain
right there.
things he would say. It was just certain things Fish would say, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I see
Yeah,
where you're
I'm not.
going
I don't like.
with it.
And the side thing
Yeah.
he also changed Dan. He changed James Saylor's tweet one time, which she had to clean up. Like, look, I didn't put it out there like that. Like they'll
See?
take stuff and change it and
Yeah.
kind of run with it. And she cleaned in her interview. She was like, "No, I didn't say any of this stuff." Like when they was
Well,
like,
she
"Oh,
put
there's
out
doubt with McCarthy," she
not,
said, "No, I asked him a question on whether or not how can you sell. What would be the way people would believe? What is it you can tell us to believe in?" and they just
Oh yeah, no, I heard it when she asked that question. Yeah,
they just ran it and twisted what she said, which was a legitimate question.
no, it's a fair question for sure.
It's a nice, honest question. You're not being insulting. It's a good question the way it is.
She even framed it that way too. Because she was like, Mike, I mean this respectfully, but why
Exactly.
should the fan? You know what I'm saying? Like she sandwiched that bad boy too.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, I don't know how you got that twisted.
People ran with that and twisted her entire.
Yeah, but then she came back. She did come back though and say one of the players was questioning Dax. Was something
but
dealing with
here's
Dax
the
too.
thing.
So
Somebody took that and first thing they thought they ran and said CD Lamb. She said I didn't even say the player. So I get it. I get what she said. She was trying to find out the temperature of the locker room, which I understand. I would have did the same thing too. I mean, after that type of loss and how bad it was, I would wonder if they're all together or if they're gonna, turn against each
Get
other.
ready to turn on somebody. Yeah, exactly.
You know how it is, dog. When things go bad, people start pointing fingers. We saw
Mm-hmm.
it with certain players. That stuff can go in the locker room. You just wonder.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. You wonder. You got to all buy in, but that's also a coach thing. That's a player thing, and that's all who all the players. That's why I hate all that stuff.
Yeah, but if the players would have followed that lead, and when that after we clinched the second seed, that was like, hey, I'm not putting on no hat. We got bigger fish to fry. Everybody else putting on a hat. Everybody else putting on a hat, smoking cigars and shit like that. Like we done
You
made
should have
it.
told them dudes though.
People also had lunch parties, and I was like, "What are y'all doing?"
Yeah, like
you ain't done nothing.
Yeah, your quarterback is setting the mood for what we need to do. We need to lock in. And as Michael Parsons get on this podcast, I'm gonna have a memorable moment. I'm gonna be epic, and I'm gonna be this, and I'm gonna be that.
I'm not a big fan.
And
So I mean they can do what they can do,
bro,
but I'm a big against you being on social media through the regular season.
Yeah, of course, man.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. But the one thing about it, and where people got to understand, and I take this, the biggest example is Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders had one of the biggest mouths in sports. And if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Yeah, but
you can't be a talker and not live up to it.
But the thing is, it ain't the talking. I don't have a problem with talking. Players talk. Unless I'm wrong, and y'all can correct me because y'all was in Atlanta, y'all follow it. Did Deion have a weekly radio show in Atlanta when he played?
Deion had a nightclub in Atlanta, so yeah. Deion was in the streets all the time.
No, but you know what? Him and Jamie Dukes had a little show for a minute. They were on probably like his first or second or third year. They was on for a minute.
Yes.
Then it stopped.
Yeah,
so he had it.
Yeah, see, I was in high school when Deion was in Atlanta, so I couldn't even tell.
I just think it's like this.
Yeah, that was my college years, but yeah, I think
we all have
he definitely had that.
If you go on social media and start talking about your job, they have stuff literally where you can't do that stuff. Like you get hired at a regular job. Yeah. So to me,
of course.
I mean, I've always said they can do what they want. If you guys want to do this, that's fine. It's whatever. But you do have a whole summer that you can do this type of stuff. And it's to me.
Yeah, you do.
You have a whole all season to do this. Why don't you lock in on what you need?
Yeah, that's true.
Bro,
that is true.
Go with us. I can go. You can literally go on after a game and Curse is always tweeting. You can say something.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Tagging him in. And them dudes will follow and respond.
Hey, did he jumped in on one of your tweets, didn't he, John?
And I sent him a DM. I said, I think you, because I didn't want to get into it. I was like, I think you got bigger things to worry about than to worry about whatever tweet that I'm tweeting about you. Why don't you lock in for the regular season? But now y'all got all the social media time you want because you got bounced in the first week.
Curse got so much confidence. Curse walk up on you, boy, you think you finna get shut down. The way he walk, the way he step on the field, he Hall of Fame say.
Oh, wait a minute! Did Baltimore score again?
Yeah, I think so. I ain't watching that. I gotta get rid of him.
I just see them celebrate. So I'm assuming something went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I hadn't even watched. I hadn't even watched it since you gave it. What was it? 10-10?
No, I just have it in the background. I'm not really looking. I see it on
Yeah,
the
it was
side. I see a
17.
lot of Ravens
It was
Yeah, yeah.
17-10.
celebrate, so I'm assuming they scored again.
I got you.
I got you.
All right, brothers. So I know y'all got better things to do for Saturday night.
Yeah, they just scored.
Y'all
Man.
joining
It's all
in.
good, man.
We'll,
All
we'll,
right, man. Everything great.
we'll do a podcast again based off the movements. So if they end up making some major, we'll talk about that. We'll do a little thing with the free agency, and then we'll do some draft stuff, more so probably after and a little bit before.
Okay.
So we'll do it like that. So I'll go off of the response. So if they make some major move and say they whack Dan Quinn next week or don't bring him back and hire another, then we'll respond to that.
There you go.
Yeah,
Dan
because
Quinn,
it's
Dan
only
Quinn
gonna be
getting
so much
fired.
stuff we can talk about. That it's the same thing. So we'll see.
Dan Quinn get hired by Dan Quinn gonna do a press conference next week. And
Seattle
Seattle
Seahawks.
I hope
Seahawks
he
new head
does.
coach.
Yeah, I hope he
Yeah,
does.
there you go.
Yeah, I do want to do a change. I want to get somebody to emphasize size and move on from him as a head coach. He was cool for his first 2 years, but it's time to change. Like you said, every time it just seems like by that third year, we just like, what happened? It's like everybody done figured us out. So, all right, brothers. Thanks, everybody.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
D is in mute. Reef is kicked off. All right, brothers. I appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah.